Did you launch a stinger?
Well, there's like a logo that spins around, and people love that shit. Like, oh, a spinning logo. Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob, and today is a special day because we're joined by so many people. In fact, just one extra person. But I'm joined by Nathan. Hi, Nate.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Mr. Simon Speckles.
Hello.
And from across the pond, in foreign land, is Mr.
Jonathan Edlund.
That's correct.
As I say, Jonathan.
Jonathan Edlund, host of several different Swedish podcasts, and our Monday night mascot, Jet the dog, is also here. Jet, do you want to say hello?
Fuck you.
Good. All right, fantastic. I'm going to ask how everyone is, if that's okay, to start the show off. And we're also obviously joined by the Twitch chat. We're also live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube. If you're watching us there, I'm only taking questions via Twitch. So jump on twitch.tv/honest-wargamer.
Or Grinder.
Or no, stop that. Right. And then if you listen to the podcast back, thank you very much. Try and join us every Monday live on Twitch. We are sponsored by and brought to you. The electricity is brought to you by people on Patreon and people who subscribe on Twitch. Yeah, that's our public service announcement. How do you feel about that?
That's great.
We've
serviced all the public.
Yeah,
we've serviced all of the public. Obviously, special guest Simon here today because the show today is I'm going to be talking to everyone, see how everyone is, talking about some of the news and information that's come out by this week, and then we're going to go on to part 2 of our faction tiering that we did last week. Yeah, last week we covered destruction and order.
Yeah,
and this week we're covering death and chaos.
All about Nagash.
Yeah, there we go.
And spooky ghosts.
Spooky ghosts. So hi, Smack Weasel. Thanks for subscribing. LLV, hi for being wonderful as always. And then Speckles, the Master of Death, says LLV. Rograx, hi Rograx. Hi Wolf Priest Kajal. Hook and Pin. Hi Hook and Pin.
Have we got that evidence yet?
Yeah, we have got the evidence.
Okay.
Gripperton Ding, Honest Wargamer finally gets to you guys live. Love the show. Thanks for all you do. Well, thanks actually to my show hosts. That's what makes the show even cooler. So thanks to you guys.
You're very welcome.
I appreciate that. Axis of Entropy. Look at that doggo. If you
guys
guys listen to the podcast, there's a fine doggo. He's hidden now. You shy, Jet?
He didn't want me to come into the apartment studio first, did he?
Studio. Can you describe it as it is, please?
Sorry, the studio.
Look at the mod cons we've got. Over there, there's a water fountain. Some people don't know that. There's actually LED screens, floor to ceiling.
I like the man with the fan as well.
Yeah,
it's quite good.
Yeah, just wafting
He's ripped. I mean, properly ripped.
Body lotion in full eucalyptus. Yeah.
Is that what you do, Nate?
I put the eucalyptus on.
Yorkshire, thanks for subscribing. Hi Joe Cryer over in America. Also, there's a really cool thing with Twitch, which I don't really understand, so it's really funny. Obviously, I do this. Grimminting, thanks very much for subscribing. I definitely am saying his name wrong. Grimtiding. That's much easier once you read it properly. Grimtiding, hi. Yorkshire, thanks for subscribing. There's also a thing on Twitch this month where if you donate a subscription to someone else this month on the Honest Wargamer, or just think on anything, then the next time that they want to subscribe properly for a month, it only costs them $1. That's quite a cool thing. If anyone wants to take advantage of that. I don't really know how that helps, or do you know what I mean? But whatever.
Just help a brother out.
Yeah, help a brother out if you don't mind.
Pay it on.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
Like Anjos S3 has done for 4 months in a row, which is lovely. Is this stream all AOS? Axis of Entropy, this is all AOS. Doing 40k on Thursday. Very exciting. Velatron, hi. Hello, folks. Good to see Nathan is back. And hi to Death Loving Speckles from Velatron.
Hello.
The stream is live.
We can't see it at the minute.
Evening.
So.
Just Play Ian, the Just Play guys. I was just playing their podcast where they were talking about competitive. I'm going to link that particular podcast that I was listening to down below. I'm going to try and message those guys later and get some feedback. But those guys got a cool podcast. You give it a listen if you get the chance. I mean, they sound like criminals, but that's fine.
So do we.
Is Luke McHugh on the podcast?
Pardon me?
Is Luke McHugh on the
No, you don't get Twitch in jail.
So they're not real criminals.
A different type of Twitch.
I don't know who this is, but someone in the Twitch chat, Axis Adventure Reviews, has put a really cool army link in the chat. Some really pretty painted things.
Oh, a link to some pictures.
Yeah. Is this still the gay podcast? I mean, obviously. Hi Alps, Tapar, Lanes says greetings. Candy Corn, I'll try and say hi to everyone in a minute.
Hello to the fellow Simon Parr.
Says hello. Pardon me?
Fellow Simon Parr.
Yeah,
That's his name.
Yeah,
Simon.
Parr's great. Yeah.
All Simons are awesome.
Unfortunately,
Especially
we
Parr.
are not partners yet. So I got an intro. So I did a bit of a mailbag section earlier on our Discord if anyone ever wants to join, and I also have got some questions for all of my show hosts to introduce everyone.
Oh, this is going to be
Jonathan, I'm
dangerous.
going to start with you.
What is 1 + 1?
No,
Five.
Jonathan,
Why do I get the hard ones?
Because you're Swedish.
Yeah, well, Jonathan, that's exactly what it's about. I've been learning about your country today. I learned that you have a
Nice.
population of 8.4 million.
Wrong.
Yeah, right. That your flag is white and red.
Isn't that Japanese?
Motherfucker.
Wait, hold on. You had the first World Ski Stop that. You had the first World Ski Championships were held in Murren
Fake news.
in 1931. Yeah. And then you have 26 cantons, and the city of Bern is the seat of the federal authorities. I knew nothing about your country until earlier.
Is that Bern or Burke? Because
Bern.
that's from
Yeah, Bern.
How to Train Your Dragon.
I
I mean, that could be where the dragons are. They're hiding with Jonathan. Is that what you're
There are
doing?
no dragons in Schweiz. Oh, Lord.
Are you hiding the dragons?
Is that the correct information? Have I got this right?
Different country altogether.
Jonathan, anything to say?
I'm speechless.
Why?
It sounded great to me.
Yeah?
I learned something new. That
Well,
you hide
exactly,
dragons.
Simon.
Yeah.
He learned
Exactly.
something wrong.
Well, that's exactly all the information about where Jonathan's from. Switzerland.
It makes me want to go there. Do you not want to visit now?
Jonathan, you're from
I don't
Switzerland,
think
right?
Switzerland is bad, though. It's probably a good country, actually.
Switzerland is nice.
Yeah, I think I need to visit now. I know the dragons are being
Spend
head there
loads on
by
the
him.
military so people won't bother attacking them.
That's fine. Well, you'll be safe there where you
Don't worry.
live. Surfer Dibs, thanks for subscribing. Pretty good timing now. I'm able to stab cows in the knees. Appreciate that, loads.
What about chocolate and cows?
I don't know. I
Yodeling?
just learned
Seeing
so
as
much.
we're-
I didn't know that Jonathan was even from near Bern.
I didn't know he was from
It's
Switzerland.
pronounced Burke.
Yeah. Well, he's from Switzerland, right?
Sweden.
Yeah,
Switzerland.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Where the best skiers are from.
Switzerland in the country of Europe.
You got that. Do you know what, I'm really pissed off. You got that much quicker. I was really trying to lead into it. I was like 8.4 million people.
Oh.
Flag is white and red, and you said motherfucker at that.
You know what you should be pissed off about?
What?
You're not part of Europe soon.
I mean, yes, that's pretty bad.
Shit country.
He says that, but it's going to cost him more to come over here and play games with us.
Oh, right. Hi, John, Arkian, JCD Fluffer. I feel very angry and upset, says JCD Fluffer. Slanis, greetings. Right, okay, so moving on with my research, because this is important.
Wait, can you be angry without being upset?
A whole bunch of things. Can you? I don't know. Speckles, you feel that?
Can I be angry without being upset?
You've been one of those two emotions a lot recently.
I think, yeah, you can. You can be angry that you got something so good.
Surfer Dibs has just donated 100 bits. He says he's starting an account to get Jonathan to make a clock because he's from Switzerland.
Out of what, then? What is it?
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
So Nathan, earlier on I was eating some biltong today.
Yeah.
And I was obviously, I was asking myself, as we know that
Being the
Zambezi,
vegetarian that you are. Yeah.
exactly, the Zambezi is located between the Zambezi. Zimbabwe is located between the Zambezi and the Limpopo rivers. Yeah. Which is your favourite of those two rivers?
Limpopo.
Why?
Sounds
You
cool.
really went hoping for the
Limpopo.
Huh?
Just say it. It sounds cool. Limpopo.
Limpopo.
great green greasy Limpopo.
Twitch chat, which is your favourite of those two rivers? Evening, I done a hobby thing. I noticed some people hit the GoFundMe goal for you. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. 80 Mac, hi all. Did Rob really eat some biltong? I did not eat some biltong. It was just, so you like the Limpopo? Second question, Nathan. What does Zimbabwe mean?
Stone houses.
Fuck! Oh, God, you're good at where you're from. That's fine.
What does Rhodesia mean?
It's there. That's where it's located. Right, Hunkapin, I thought you said cock from running. Mam dear, cheers to the random banter, says Mam dear. Oh, that's lovely. Premiere in Ultimate Wi-Fi is not Ultimate, says Euroshire. What monkey cheese is in the house? How's the kid? Asking which bank is the best for hiding fortunes of Urgold.
In Switzerland.
Switzerland, where Jonathan's from. And
Do you know that Urgold is a Swedish word? It means ancient gold in Swedish.
Ancient. Oh,
I
okay.
think I've actually heard you say that before.
I might have said it before.
I think that's probably why I know.
And so obviously Simon's on the show. I wanted to do some research for Simon.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but unfortunately, now some people don't know, but I found out recently. Oh, hold on, Velotron, 500 bits, so that Nathan can try the Buffalo Fire Sticks from Selfridges. They are the best. I think that's the type of biltong.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Let's
From
get down to Selfridges.
Selfridges.
Oh no, where is Selfridges? Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Oh, right, yeah.
Across.
Let's get that. Thanks, Velotron.
Cool.
We'll order
Fire
some of that.
sticks. Oh,
Fire sticks. Woohoo!
sounds
Is
great.
that meat?
Oh, it sounds like biltong.
I'm gonna put a carrot in some hot sauce. Basically the same. Simon, so some people don't know that your favourite TV show is
Oh.
Chuck.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah, and Jonathan, did the mighty artistic presence that is the TV show Chuck make it over to
He better do.
Switzerland?
Yeah. Probably like 10 years before Britain.
10 years before.
Which kind of goes well with your country.
I triggered the fuck out of him. All right. So I wanted to go on that because I think it's a pile of crap, but Simon's watched it several times. That's right,
Yes.
Simon.
I'm been watching it again now.
Yeah, okay. And I wanted to just basically cuss you and just be like, look, this is a terrible TV show. But then I went on IMDb, and the motherfucker's got 8.2 out of 10.
There you go. It proves
8.2.
everything.
All the series got high. All the TV series get higher ratings than they should. Like Firefly. Battlestar Galactica.
All those.
Rob, today
All
I
those
watched the
shows
episode
that
of Chuck,
suck.
and they were saying how amazing Battlestar Galactica is. So the better show is to know that the other show is quite good.
Wait, so Chuck was saying that Battlestar Galactica is good?
Yes.
Then
how can you
I
disagree?
don't even know how to. I don't know how to compare that. That's like a potato stamp.
that's
for
how
saying, yeah, like the Mona Lisa's all right. Yeah,
That's how you
outrageous.
know you can feel angry and not upset at the same time.
I don't want to do this show anymore. This is fucking mute Jonathan now, says Beer Mouse, and I agree. Jonathan, never insult Battlestar or Firefly again, ever.
He's gone.
Is he gone?
That's it. He's gone.
He just doesn't want to.
No.
All right, but so unfortunately, I wasn't able to insult Chuck. But the star of Chuck, who I know you're a big fan of,
Yes.
I also found some great news about him. That in 2014 he got married to Miss Peregrine. Did you know that?
I did.
Did you?
Yes.
You know, a year later that they got divorced. Fuck
Yes.
you, Simon.
I already knew that as well. He's got a new missus as well, who's
What?
a little hotter.
It's like you, Simon.
Oh.
That was the reference. Yes, Jonathan, you made the joke.
It took a different country to make that joke.
Fuck off.
You're just mean.
By the way, if anyone's out there and would like to date Simon, his Twitter handle is
Speckles.
said with such confidence.
That's it. Yeah. I have no confidence in that at the minute whatsoever. I'm happy with my Chuck.
Right, okay. So that's all of my friends, and I'm so happy to have you all here.
Yes.
How are you all? How are you actually, Simon? How are you? Well,
I was fine until you tried to rip into Chuck. No, I'm good.
Been playing loads of Warhammer?
I've been building.
What you been building?
I'm building the gash. I finally thought I need to do it, so I'm going to get it all ready for Crimbobo. And I'm not going to release any pictures or anything of it. So it should look pretty awesome when it's done. I've got expanding foam at the minute that I'm using. This is quite weird to use.
Wow.
It's taken a few little attempts to get stuff sorted, but yeah, it should look pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nathan, been building, playing Warhammer? Any of those two?
No, I've been a bit busy.
What have you been doing? Rowing up and down the Zambezi?
Yeah, Limpopo.
The Limpopo?
Yeah,
But the Zambezi is easy.
yeah, but the Limpopo sounds... It's great, grey, green, greasy Limpopo.
And then finally, Mr. Jonathan Etland.
I'm great.
Have you been playing any Warhammer, building any Warhammer? One of those two?
Yes.
Yeah? How's
I've been building and painting dwarves, and I've been playing with Aiden and Stephen.
Oh, nice. What dwarves have you been building?
The proper ones.
Yeah, I guess. The boat ones.
The ones in the
Oh,
boat.
The flying boat ones.
The dwarves of the sky.
Not
Yeah.
proper ones.
Not the dwarves of the magic. Or the dwarves of the slow moving.
They are the fast-moving dwarves of shoot to kill in turn 1.
There's actually, speaking... Go on. Please carry on.
Oh, okay. Well, if you put it that way, did you know that Teen Mom got 15 seasons and Firefly only got 1?
Let's not talk this on. Let's one day do the Honesty honest-wargamer TV series podcast, but not right now. Apparently, everyone. By the way, everyone in the Twitch chat is rowing about which is the best county because Yorkshire, our new subscriber, has started a county off. A load of people rooting for Leeds. Yeah, that's it.
So instead of a showdown, they're having a countdown.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you've heard, you've seen the meme recently, right? Kingdoms were ruled by kings. Empires were ruled by empires, and now we have countries.
Yeah, that's quite good.
How's the Swedish Agency Marcin? Is it strong? Is it healthy? There are loads of people
It's
enjoying.
strong and healthy, absolutely. Loads of tournaments and shit going on, so it's perfect. I'm going to tournament this weekend, actually.
Oh, what's happening?
I don't know. It's like people are migrating over to this system, this fantastical system of Age of Sigmar, and we're going kind of like out of the book. I think most part. Well, we are going out of the book. I think there's no adjustments at the moment. Playing full realms, buff stacking, whatever. But it's mainly we can kick the shit out of the rest of the nations, right?
Yeah.
How many eels are you taking with you to this tournament?
No, actually, I'm taking a real narrative list to this tournament. I'm taking 3 boats, so it's not a good list. But I'm just wanna learn the war scrolls and how they work, how they interact with shit, so I can just take the same unit all over again and shoot somebody off the first turn.
So you got the polar opposite armies.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, they're both very alpha. I mean, Gary plays both of them, and he doesn't like his opponent to have to go. So
very, very quick,
similar
quick tournaments.
But I think there's a lot of things with Cardron that is unexplored because of the clan car, and just people went with assumed knowledge on Age of Sigmar 2 and that they will suck, which I disagree with, especially for team tournaments. So we'll see what I can cook up.
Okay, nice. That sounds fun. Okay, cool. All right, well, good luck to everyone over in Sweden. That's where it actually is, Sweden. A wonderful nation. They gave us many great things like trolls and
Scrolls.
An incredible religion, which is that of trolls, I think.
Cool.
Is that right?
All praise the
You're
troll.
right.
You are correct. Everyone, welcome to who's in the Twitch chat on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching. So let's get on with the show. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to jump them in. But we've had some questions ahead of time, so I thought I'd ask you these. First question we had in was from LLV on the Discord. What is the etiquette on units having multiple banners and effects in general? For instance, if a unit can take 2 different banners, can I take both and get both effects? Gents.
Yeah.
In general, yes, absolutely. It depends on land or lore.
What units do have multiple banners though?
Plague monks.
Plague monks. The answer to that is
Quite a few units do, yeah.
Yeah, quite a few units do.
Yeah.
You can take both, but it's just always the wording on the banner.
Especially the older stuff from 8th edition. So like your dwarves, your goblins, all of them. They normally have an icon or a banner, and then they both have different effects. So you can have a couple of icons and a couple of banners in your unit.
Didn't the Saurus Knights have that as well? I think.
What?
No,
your favourite unit.
The Saurus. No, the Saurus have only got one. They've got like an icon type thing.
Yeah, I remember seeing the icon on there.
It does.
Guys in the chat
-1.
saying, "Our boys, Moonclan Gutbusters, they all have multiple."
Yeah.
The normal rule is like, especially as like Nathan said, if it's older war scrolls where they haven't got around to updating them yet, looking at the entire destruction range basically, then sometimes you can take multiple banners and take, but then usually the wording's very specific or a little bit weird. Wasn't there like a bit of a moment where you could have a banner for every, or an extra
multiple banners.
Was it the Idneth book or something? And then everyone was like, "I'm going to have 30 banners."
Yeah, because you could get a bonus for each one. Yeah.
That's just silly. Just don't do that. It's just silliness. It's not their fault. They don't have proofreaders. They struggle. Those Plague monks have a lot of shit they can include in one unit. They do. You can have a banner, an icon, a gong, a bell, a book, a scroll. You can have like a lot of different things.
And a champ. And a champ as well.
And a champ, yeah.
Might as well just let your champ carry on.
Was actually like one of the biggest.
So it's just the one guy without anything in his hand, just a big sword.
That war scroll is one of the biggest. Yes, it's one of the biggest war scrolls in the game. The Plague Monk war scroll. It's massive. Twitch of Braziliath is saying that unfortunately he thinks the AOS has completely died in his group. Watching this is as close as I get. Oh, that's really sad, man. Where are you located? Hopefully it picks up again. That'd be good. All right, so that answers that question, I think. Yeah?
Yeah.
Heinrad says, I'm running an AOS tournament in October. That is in Nuneaton in the UK.
Yeah.
An AOS tournament in October to try and get some interest going in our area. How would you make it accessible for new people while also keeping veterans or more competitive gamers interested? John, you run a lot of events over in Australia.
Australia? Wow. Your country got a lot bigger really quickly.
Yeah.
How do they go?
Just pick a country, any country.
That's what I do at this stage.
I think it depends on like how big your scene is. But mostly I would recommend going with either you go matched and you go with whatever matched is, or you do like a narrative one. Just do soft. Maybe not narrative, but just do soft scores. But you can alternate them, so you get some people into the scene, like having fun and playing, and then you can do those matched ones where it's just all about the gaming side. There's no reason like not to alternate. It tends to be something for everybody, and in the end, I think most people like to play match play. I think.
Okay. Yeah, I think most people try to. In fact, although this weekend I saw Mr. Steve Foote of the Neo narrative fame at Warhammer World, not this weekend because I'm doing. It was on Friday, and we had a big long chat. And I said, I'm going to try and get him to come on the show. I've asked him already, and I said, Steve, I don't really understand narrative wargaming. Like, I was like, because it's not quite as pick up and play.
Yeah, you have to put more into it, I think.
Yeah, you do have to put more into it, but if you don't know how to put more into it, does that make sense? I know how to create a character on a computer game, and that's like, spent hours doing that, or like moving his eyes around and getting the perfect Mohican or whatever however I exactly
and what colour.
Yeah. Hi, Nikos. I don't, there isn't really a format for that for Age of Sigmar, which is a bit of a thing, and that would be quite cool, I think.
Yeah.
Or giving you guys Mohicans.
All of them, every single one.
Well, like Fire Slayers.
Yeah.
Just go play Fire Slayers.
Just play them. They're narrative. They're not very good anymore.
I think a lot of people just don't know how to play narrative. They know it's a narrative event and so forth, but I think what you should try to do when you play narrative is one, skip the match play missions. Just take a cool narrative one or make one your own. And your focus should be that this should be a good and fun game. And winning is not as important as both players having a cool time, which is cool as well, right?
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Although, I've been looking at loads of different game systems at the minute and how they do different types of events based off the standard line and then different ones. Yeah. So some interesting stuff that you could potentially do in the future. That's not the topic for today, but cool question.
Well, in a couple of weeks, me and my friend Andy, we're having a siege battle. Mm-hmm. There's in the local store in Derby, somebody's donated this humongous castle with all walls and moats and everything. It takes up nearly a whole board. Mm. So we're going to have a full siege battle of defending the castle with his Stormcast and my death trying to take it. So quite narratively, yes.
That's a nice guy, man. I mean, you should, you and your country should get used to donations.
Oh my god! I mean, one joke and now it's the whole show.
The wall put round. Oh, sorry, Jet.
Hello everyone. Me and Mal says in Cardiff to help the community grow, the scene grow. We're holding narrative tournaments with no painting guidelines. So that's like a way to get people into it, which I think is nice.
That's a good thing.
Everyone is really up for 40k in his community. A lot of AOS players were quite new, and then second edition dropped, and people didn't want to buy new books and learn all the magic stuff, which is fair. Jelly Pie says, is Rob wearing a grey community shirt? It's like, no, sorry, this is actually of a higher quality. And then on Sunday we had the largest AOS tournament in Northern Ireland with 30 people. Again, cheers to Tia on it. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
That's great. Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
cool. Yeah, cool. Good for them.
Right, next question. Chuck Williams messaged the Facebook group. This isn't really a question. This is more of a thing, Simon. This is important to you.
Chuck.
There's a new. Not because of that, but it relates to you for two reasons. There's a Guardian of Souls which has come out, but it's only in stores. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But specifically, the name of him is Drakkar, the Guardian of Souls. Yeah. Chuck Williams has messaged us because he's a little bit confused by that because it's a type of cologne that he wore as a child. Drakkar the cologne. And,
quite impressive.
And he's confused by it.
I would be. I think I am now.
Okay, yeah,
I've had a lot of trouble trying to get hold of that model this weekend.
Oh, so do you want to explain to people what it is and what we think about it?
I don't think Jet likes it.
Go on.
Trying to find it.
Yeah, GW are bringing out a yearly anniversary.
Hey, come here.
Sorry, the dog has just decided to eat the loud. This is possibly the worst TV ever.
Come on, up. Jet, come here. What's this? Come here. Come on, up.
So, go on, Simon, carry on.
Yeah, so Games Workshop brought out a anniversary model for AOS, which is this Guardian of the Souls, and it does look a lot better, I must say, than the original one. And he's got his own rule set. It's the same points, but it's quite good. But you can only get it from Games Workshop on their anniversary day, or what I thought. As I went down last week, getting the wrong week for the Derby store. So I went down there, got nothing. I said, no, it's next week. So, okay. So I went down on Saturday to pick up my new model. Was dead excited. Got there and they went, oh yeah, today's the date, you can order it. And I was like, but it's the anniversary one. I thought we'd have some in the store. She goes, oh no, we're waiting to see how many people wanted to buy it. I'm like, well, why did you not do a pre-order? So this is the pre-order. So now I have to wait again until next Saturday to pick up this one model that I've been trying to get.
So it's a in-store birthday launch model pre-order only.
Yes.
Mum dear, thanks for donating 200 bits for Jet's butthole.
It looks very sad about that, Jet.
What do Jonathan and Nathan? What do you guys think about the fact that there is a store only? So one of the things I know that Jonathan, you're not particularly a fan of is compendium units. And specifically that's because there's limited access to the model, and if it means it's particularally good,
they're quite broken as well.
So it's quite strong, you think, in the game.
Yeah, those
no,
fake
it's not necessarily
really
that. It's more a philosophical point of view. It has nothing to do with the power level or anything. It's just roles. Like if you're playing match play, everything should be accessible to the players. And that's just the beef that I have with it. Also, I saw in the app. Do you know where you find the rules for the Legion of Asgore? You find it in the same place where you find the rules for dwarves, high elves.
No, you don't.
You do.
No,
yes,
you don't.
You do.
You also find them. You also find them quite comfortably on the Forge World web store, which is where you'll also find such great war scrolls as the Dreadsaurian, the Squid Gobber. So unless you want to...
the lady herself as well.
Yeah, the Troll Haggoth Hag herself.
But they're in the main app. Those ones.
They have
well.
models like you have the mammoth, like it doesn't have a model, and it doesn't have like a
It's
plate
there.
size. It doesn't have. It's just inconsistent. I don't like inconsistency.
There is one weird thing about this new store anniversary model. It's not on the app store. You can't get the rules off the app, so you can't even see what it is until you buy it, unless you.
But the rules have already been leaked, right?
Yeah, they're out everywhere. This has been out there since AOS 2 started, so I think you could get it on certain stores that same weekend, but you still can't get it on the app, which is a bit weird. You'd think there'd be a way to access it on the app instead of carrying around a little bit of paper with the rules.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, I think.
Not like the rules for the fucking spells.
What? Are the spells back in the app now?
I don't fucking know.
Does anyone know if the spells are back in the app?
The endless spells?
Yeah.
You know what's weird? You can't get the Nighthaunt endless spells when you look on the Nighthaunt. When you bring it down to just Nighthaunt, you have to actually go to just Death to find it.
Oh, the
It's
spells.
like we're talking about the subpar product. I don't know.
No way. It's perfectly put together. Morgan Stormflash says at least that model will be available in every store. There you go.
So you have to go into the Allegiance, and that's it. So if I click Death, scroll down a bit, they're all there. Everybody.
Every single spells.
Yeah. It's even got the Order ones as well.
In Death.
Yeah. So you click. If you bring on Death.
Wait, are you a hacker?
I think
Are you a wizard?
Are you a wizard?
Let's see if. Hold on. Let's see if Destruction get everything. Yeah, so if you click Destruction, first thing you get is all the spells, even the Nighthaunt ones and the Order ones in Destruction.
So if you click any of the Grand Alliances, in the app, that will bring up the spells, even if it's not for that
even if it's not for them. Yeah.
Perfect.
You know.
Oh, Lanes89, thanks for the 100 bits. I think that's because you've just helped train all of us.
I've hacked.
Because now we all know how to find the spells.
I was looking the other day. I was like, where the fuck
yeah,
are they?
Don't bother looking at the faction of what the spells are for. No.
This is like when you were a kid and you bought a magazine and on the front of it had the booking with like the cheat codes for the computer game.
Yeah.
You're like
left, triangle, square, up, and that's it. You're there.
Oh, right.
You're really excited now, aren't you? That you found them.
What's the other one? IDGAF.
I don't give a fuck.
No, it's every weapon in Doom, man. And IDDQD is immortal mode.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
I think the anniversary models are stronger than the normal equivalent ones.
Very strong. Really strong.
Very strong. So there's a power level part to this conversation. Morgan Stormsplash also says, at least that model will be available in every store at one point in the year. The Plastic Terminator Chaplain, the only Plastic Terminator Chaplain Games Workshop have ever made, was only available at store openings. I think it's only been sold at 2 events ever.
Yeah. I think they're doing it again now for the anniversaries. There was a
It's like they don't want to sell it.
Primaris anniversary edition, one from last year that come out that they're doing this year again for all the stores.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the same one. I don't know too much about that.
However, Just Play Ian thinks that the anniversary model is worse than the default Guardian of Souls.
What, look-wise?
I imagine in-game.
I don't know. I mean, it's got some really, really good benefits. So within every enemy model within 9 inches of it can only use 1 dice to charge.
Well, it might be worth doing a show at some point.
Yeah.
We'll compare them. Yeah?
Yeah.
But it's interesting. But it's interesting that there's like even if it's utility difference, that there's a very difficult to find model in the game.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. That
like
was
that
that
Pokemon
argument
shiny.
for making armies and units compendium was that they wanted everyone to have equal access to the units. Yeah. And now there's a counter argument.
Restricting.
That's just interesting. Interesting. I'm not pushing an agenda. I'm just saying that's interesting. Nath, what do you think?
Fucking hell.
Right, and then finally, today, community article went up on modelfloggersblog.com.
I love the model floggers.
Do you go onto the model floggers blogger?
I did yesterday. I've not been on model floggers today.
You haven't been on model floggers today?
Not today, no.
No, model flog. I'm actually going to buy the web address modelfloggersblogger.com and then just have it redirect to the Warhammer community page.
He doesn't know. When he was in Zimbabwe, he doesn't know what model floggers are.
Oh, so modelfloggers.com. Because you know how, obviously, so a lot of people sometimes criticise Games Workshop because sometimes
I do like a good flogger.
Exactly. Oh, you love a flogger. You know how sometimes that you kind of go like, oh, you're not really making a game, or you know, like they're bringing out a box set. Speed Freaks is a good example. They're going to bring out some Orc bikes and some Orc trucks, but you can use them all in 40k. They're bringing out just on pre-order this week is the 40k. What's it? Bloody Blight War's a good example. You had all the Stormcast. You had all the Nurgle. You could play Blight War. Did you fucking play Blight War? Or did you just build your two halves of your two different things?
I've never heard anybody play Blight War. I wouldn't even know how.
Blight War is basically the Age of Sigmar. It's just some separate missions. It's not
yeah,
a separate
I'm just saying. Have you heard anyone play Blight War?
Have you, Jonathan? Oh.
No. Did you ever buy Blight War, though?
Yeah.
I got a Blight War. I got a very special Blight War box, didn't I?
You did. It was empty.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thanks for checking, Tom. Modelfloggers.com is available. So, yeah, we'll buy that and then we'll just use that. We'll use the Patreon money to redirect to Warhammer community for the worst joke ever. Yesterday, while you were away, we decided that their blog is basically a flogging website. So we decided it was the Model Flogger blog. It's just good alliteration, really.
Oh, I like that.
It's even better when somebody says they are a model flogger blogger. They work for model floggers on the Model Flogger blogger website.
Yeah, because if you're on the video team, you're a vlogger.
Yeah,
you're a model flogger vlogger.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. But like Archean says, model floggers, terrible bloggers. So the community site sometimes, occasionally, has some information, but not loads. No. But we found out about the release of the Beta Chaos Battletome.
Yeah.
Oh, what we found. I get to find some stuff out
this weekend, doesn't it?
So it's going on pre-order this weekend. I'd advise everyone do not pre-order it because it will just be available in the shop. Yeah. Like, so what are you doing? Yeah. Just go into a shop. I mean, it's the same.
It's like the reporters on that blog sometimes. It's like, let's take a real life example. It's like a reporter goes to Syria to report on the weather.
Go on, Jonathan. Explain that out for me, please. I got lost a bit there.
But you don't go to Syria to report on the weather. You go to Syria to report on the war.
Right.
The weather is not interesting to anyone.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. They said, "Oh, you're going to find out some great expanded narrative for the Beast
of Chaos."
Beast of Chaos. Everyone's like, "Just are Beastmen good or shit?" Yeah. That's all I want to know. Yeah.
I hope it will be good. It's always good with a good army.
It would be good. They're great models as well. That Cygor, I've always wanted to get one of those just to paint it.
The Cygor?
Yeah, I think it's a really cool model.
Yeah, and Dragon Ogres.
Yeah, they could be good now.
Yeah. So do you want to see what's in the thing? Just Play Ian makes a good point. Pre-order with your local game store. They want to know how many copies to order. Yeah. So that's good, especially if you frequent a local gaming store that's not a Games Workshop. Just so they know what to do. Moon Tyranid has said, serious talk though, my store birthday next month, you guys want a Ghost or the Marine? I think that limited edition Marine, you might be able to buy like 500 of them instead of one. But the stuff that we found out about the Beast of Chaos Battletome, some stuff we already know. There's a Herdstone coming out, and they said it's free, so that means it's going to be a piece of scenery.
But so, 3 points wise.
3 points wise, so it'll be like the Feculent Narmor, or it'll be like the Adnethian Boat, or Sylvaneth Wildwoods. So that's cool. Excited about that?
Legion of the Gas token.
A little bit good about token for Legion of the Gas.
Yeah, that's it. I thought.
I'm surprised that Nighthorn didn't get some graves or something.
I was hoping for something. Everyone else has got something, but Death have got. No, you can have a token. It doesn't matter how big it is.
For everyone,
it's a token.
Simon.
And it is a problem, Jonathan pointed out.
There should be everything should be a token.
Either everything a token, or everything scenery.
But it does look cool.
It does
look cool.
It looks cool. Yeah. It looks cool, but it should act like a token. But it looks cool. You can still have the looks, but it can still act like a token.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like the Wildwoods, for an example, it should be a token.
I think the Wildwoods is the main culprit for this conversation all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, and the ships for riding it as
Yeah,
well.
the
It's like
boats are
Yeah, the
quite-
boats as well.
situations all the time. It's like, should I use my rules and be a dick, or should I just? Oh, it's flat, man. I always go with it's flat.
Yeah. Important point to make. Miramar says, I just want my Chimera and Jabberslide to be part of an army book, so they're going to be now, so that's really exciting. And Velatron said, and I hadn't realised this, I wish they had come out with beast ladies with others. I mean, we talk about this all the time, don't we? Like, where's the female representation with Stormcast? You know, okay, there's Daughters of Cain now, you seem like that's good. But, what's going on with... What's going on with Lady Cows?
The Death. They have all the ladies.
Do they?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Lady Linda for starters. Neferata.
2.
Isabella von Carstein.
Dead.
She was there. How do you know that all the
They're all
Reapers
dead.
aren't ghosts?
That's true,
Ghost
they're all
ladies?
dead.
They're all dead.
In your business, shouldn't you be able to determine a female skeleton from a male skeleton?
Yes, but these are spooky ghosts. They have no skeleton. How do you know that the spooky ghost is a lady or a man? Or in between?
Do what I do with all of them, just upskirt them, right?
But then you up the skirt and then there's nothing there.
It's legal in your country.
Not
It
for
is
long.
legal in our country.
Not for long.
Thanks to that wonderful
Same
MP
news.
that we have. Nathan, you're against upskirting, I know that for a fact. Yorkshire says, that's just a great name, Yorkshire, based on Uruks. Plenty of beast women where I live.
And Uruguay.
Sorry for taking all the good genes, guys.
Gavin says it's all good because those ladies have Daughters of Cain. There are lady Stormcast too, aren't there?
Yeah.
Anyway, but moving on because that's an utterly ridiculous line of reasoning.
Wow.
Utterly.
Boom! I got this. They've said this is cool. There's also there's Hearthstone. There's 3 endless spells. There's a big cow. There's a horn. John, please stop.
Leave her alone. Just stop beating her while the show's
John,
on.
I've got to edit it if you do it. Stop.
Sorry.
3 endless spells. One's a big cow that's
Yeah.
on fire. Don't agree with that. Me and Peter are going to start a petition. Change.org. A horn and some birds.
I thought are they not bats? From what I've seen, they look like bats to me.
Oh my god, it's the squidgy on debate all over again.
Pigeon or squidgy?
Yeah, the last picture I saw,
Are
I
they
was
bats?
looking at their heads, wondering what they were. They had got funny shaped heads.
Are these brand new squidgians?
No. Squidgians are much better.
Don't get it wrong, guys. These Beastman players can be in a bad mood.
The bad mood. Oh my god, they can play the bad moon. They're shitty scarecrow vultures. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll go back.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, what are they?
If it's one list, I got it right now. This is my TM.
Yeah, they are
If one
type of crow
if
thing.
one Beastman
Oh,
build
yeah.
becomes a net list that everybody plays, we can call it Deja Vu.
Deja vu.
Deja vu. What, you see it over and over again? I'm like, I've got deja vu. Alright, yeah, okay, I'll take that. That's good. Or you could say, like, are you using that army list again? They'll be like, yeah, but like, you're really milking it.
Oh.
Yeah, this is
Really,
really
really
great.
It's
This is
bullshit.
cheesy.
It's a bullshit list.
This is a bullshit list. This is good. All right, we should make.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It's
lost
called-
6 viewers then when we started making puns.
A wildfire Taurus
Wildfire Taurus,
and a ravening direflock.
Ravening Direflock.
And fuck
And
knows what the horn
and the
is.
horn.
And a horn.
Horny
Yeah.
horn.
A glowing horn.
We're farming the puns tonight. Yeah, a big horn. The horns. Do you like any of those guys? Any of those that really you think, that's cool? Can't see those
The
on
bull
table.
does look quite cool. I'm
The
gonna
bull.
lie. Yeah. And the horn looks pretty good. I'm not sure on the whatever they are.
Crows.
I think they're gonna look a bit. They need to see them in person to see if they look good or they look like the bats from 8th edition.
Yeah, I reckon they look alright.
I think they look good.
I'm
John,
not-
any of those
I'm
take
not
your fancy?
keen by
Twitch chat, any of those take your fancy?
Do you know why the Minotaurs have hooves instead of toes?
Oh God! Tell me.
Because they lack toes.
For God's sakes, the lactose. Hooker Princess, how dare you? It's just me, but for more units as opposed to multiple. Is it just me that I'd prefer more units as opposed to multiple endless spells? Guys, what do you think?
Yeah, new units would be quite cool. Just something new.
Well, in the thing, yeah, I mean, some new units would be nice, but the spells look cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the Herdstone thing looks pretty sweet as well.
Yeah,
I think they should be happy that they got those, actually. Because it's an old toy.
The Beastmen have got some quite nice models anyway.
Well,
the gore and everything.
To quote the show, to quote the article, you'll be able to customize your army more than ever before. Well, you couldn't before, so. Thanks to a huge host of new rules from unique command traits for Brave Hordes, War Herds, and Thunderstorm. So I think that it's going to be delineated up inside the battle tome into your War Horde, and I imagine if you have like a War Herd leader, he can probably have, a bit like you had with Demon, Mortal, and Rotbringer for the Nurgle battle.
And the Zinch one as well. Mortal, Demon, and...
Yeah, so I love the idea of there being, like, even if it's D3, but I'd love it if it was D6, like Thunderscorn, Shaggoth, like command traits and artifacts, to magical spells and extra abilities for dedicating your army to one of the Great Phrase, which is not something I think we've heard before as a term. The Great Phrase. So that's be excited to find out what that is. Yeah. So I imagine it's maybe one of their, like, I don't know, deities or... Yeah.
I am worried about these endless spells. I like the look of the bull, but I'm worried it's going to be the same as the big jaws. The cool looking models in these endless spells don't seem to do a lot.
What I'd like to do is carry this, because this has actually moved on really nicely into the conversation. Moved on into the conversation I'd like to have. Chucklebutt TV, I just came in, Speckles, the sultry tones of Jonathan, the sexy dungeon master returns. Nathan, we should call you that, Nathan the Dungeon Master. That's a great well-known, Chuckles. Lexopolis says, I think all these jokes will get someone's go. Just Play Ian says, I don't care how old the models are, just don't make them suck and give them a fun allegiance. So, yeah, I would say that this is my issue, and I'd like to discuss with you guys if you've played against it or if you've used it. So, with the endless spells, a bit like we have with units, like they release, I can't think of the Idoneth Deepkin. They released the Idoneth Deepkin, it's like, that's great, that's really exciting. But the turtles, okay. Yeah, the turtles okay-ish. So you don't see loads of turtles flying around, instead you see loads of eels. That's fine, that's like internal game balance, that's points adjustments, there's a bunch of interesting things. But it's kind of the same with the endless spells, right?
Yeah, massively.
What was cool about Malign Portents, in my opinion, was you had a range of them, and some of them, like Chronomantic Cogs or Geminids, were really good. And then, like, the big jaw one, which looks really cool, but kind of sucks.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of, with that in mind, of the Everblaze Comet for Stormcast Eternals? Yeah, because that's a must-buy for 25 quid for Stormcast. Have you played against it? Do you know what it does?
Yeah, I've played against it. I don't think it was that bad.
Okay. Jonathan, have you played against it?
Yeah, I just bought this as well, because I think you can ally them in, right? Or
you can.
So I picked the Encounter and the Comet.
I played against it with so I had Dispossessed. So I could only try and dispel it in when they were casting it, otherwise then that was it. It was on the board. And I don't know. It did some damage, but then I could just play around it, or through it, or over it, and
Well, for me,
it wasn't
for me. Well, I think it's incredibly impressive on paper. I've seen it used a couple of times. Haven't had it used against me because I dispelled it. But I think some of the key elements of it are like, to take away, it's 100 points in case no one knows what it is. And what it does is it drops the comet, so the model that's the comet, and all units within 10 inches, I think I've got this right, take D3 more wounds.
D6 when it drops, and then then it's
Is it
D3 after.
D6 when it drops?
Might be, I'm not sure.
Shall we bring it up?
Yeah, let's bring it
Look,
up.
in destruction.
But
Now that
before we do, and also there's some opinions on it in the chat before we go any more, because I'd love to hear. Just Play Ian says it's a Power Creep comet. AD Max says it's shit, and I've got loads of respect for AD and what he thinks. If I had any synergy with Stormcast, it would be Baller. Oscar's played. He said he played it at Nova. Let's not play. So which games which I haven't made it so much.
No, you roll. So yeah. So after the model is set up, roll the dice for each unit within 10 inches. On a 1 and a 2, they take 1 mortal wound.
Yeah.
On a 3-4, D3 mortal wounds. On a 5-6, 3 mortal wounds flat.
So every unit.
Yeah. So, but you have to roll for each unit. And then in addition, at the start of each battle round, roll the dice for each unit within 5 inches of the model. On a 1 and a 3, 1 mortal wound, 4 to 6 D3 mortal wounds.
So and it's cast at a range of 36 inches.
Ridiculously far.
Yeah, and it's cast on a 6, right?
Yeah.
Casting value of a 6, set up wholly within 36 of the caster.
Which is the reason I'm pointing it out is because it's a model, so it's 100 points to take that in match play as well. It's a model which you can cast outside of dispel range on the first turn at an incredible range. Yeah, 36 inches is just crazy, and then it does AOE mortal wound damage. Comparatively, Lord Croak is 500 points.
Yeah,
he only does max D3. To start casting this spell is a 7. Happens within 10 inches the same. He's a 500 point model. You can't do it at 36 inches, and this is a 100 point model.
Yeah, but plus the cost of the wizard.
Well, but he's also a wizard, right? You know, like it doesn't. It's not the only thing you can do with that singular character.
Did I hear a Soul to Seraphon player?
Yeah.
No, a Seraphon player can dispel at infinite range, so that's not the issue.
Yeah, man. Cry me a river, Rob. Can help you build a bridge you can get over it.
My only thoughts are, because it came up today on a show. A couple of my friends were playing Warhammer today. They're both messaging me because at the weekend I was playing playing Warhammer with my other friends, and he was asking for some advice about Stormcast, and he wanted something that could because he felt he could break armies apart quite well with evocators on Dracolines and a bunch of other units, but he didn't know exactly how to deal with an army that could castle well. And I was like, well, the comet's just absolutely bent as shit. Am I the only? Now, if I'm the only one, that's absolutely okay, because this is my opinion. But I feel like it is absolutely bent as shit. Whereas the disc sucks, and the hammer tornado sucks. So you're really spending 25 quid for this single comet.
Yeah.
And I wonder if and then same with the
Nighthorn.
The Nighthorn stuff. I quite like the. Is it the Hourglass? I like the Hourglass that does the more damage in AoE. But then the others, I'm like, yeah, take it or leave it.
And it's nowhere near as powerful as the Stormcast one.
Well, I'm not comparing them against each other. What I mean is the more the conversation came up, I prefer some new models. As opposed to new spells, but you still get the same problem. Some of the models, when they release in a whole new range, some aren't very good in the game. But with this, you have to buy all 3 of those
to get
spells
the good one.
To get the good one. And I'm not saying there's always a good one. There might be 3. I was just wondering if you guys felt it was super strong or medium or whatever.
I think it's strong.
It's good, but it's also situational, right?
Yeah, I mean, having read the War Scroll, it does look pretty strong. Yeah, definitely.
It's really good for first turn. So you let them go first, or even if they force you to go first, their whole army is set up reasonably close, obviously, so they can buff their effects or use whatever they want, and then just chuck it past their dispel range. They can do nothing about it. And then at least turn 1, you haven't got to worry about even it coming back to you. There's no movement on it either.
Yeah, it doesn't move.
So it just hits there for first turn. And then you do that in yours, and then in their turn, it still hits them again.
Yeah, personally, those are just my thoughts. Those are just my thoughts. I just looked at it, I thought 100 points, compared it to other units in the game that could do something similar. Agree that you've got to cast it, but it's not. Compare it to Foot of Gork, though.
Yeah.
It's a 10 to cast for a Gork, but you can have bonuses to cast it. It's a range of 18 inches.
Yeah.
It does D6 mortal wounds, and on 4+, it does another D6 mortal wounds. That's it, to a single unit.
No.
Potentially, it kills an army.
Yeah, it can kill a whole army.
Yes, it can, but like the maths say it won't. Yeah, but then I'm just not trying hard
Who
enough.
gives a fuck about maths?
His dice will just roll it.
But to give some other insight, Edimax says I've played against it 3 times. It has no influence on the game at all, other than killing a few random models. But then maybe the people he's played against haven't taken it very well. But his opinion means a lot to me, as it does all of us. So the fact he thinks it's not particularly impactful, in my opinion, it's good.
Adi, did you play your Nurgle list, because it's quite resilient as well, right? Against mortal wounds. So
because it can.
I mean, I played Dispossessed against it, and they've got their icons are quite good defense against it. So
yeah, I was just wondering. I just looked at it. I thought that's crazy.
It's really
strong.
good for 100 points. Really good.
I think
just to beat any
take this one than the Purple Sun.
Well, if you compare it to, you could take the Celestar Ballista. Yeah.
I think a Ballista's probably better than that.
Really? I think this is so much better.
I don't know. Probably similar.
Because you just dispel it and then spell it again, cast it again.
You can even dispel it with your own unit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you know you're gonna just.
But that, if it like when it's cast at me, thinking about it, it doesn't matter that I could dispel it because it's only 5 inch after that. So you just move away from it. And then your opponent, if they want to use it again, they have to use the spell it, so they have to use up one of their spells.
But don't you have to run with Dispossessed to get away from it? Not just move. That whole 5 inches.
That's fine. When I played against it, I just moved my horde forwards, and they surrounded it. They were on their way over there anyway. They were just like,
it's like an army of ants just going round.
Who gives a fuck?
Look, lads, move round. There you go.
We've had some feedback in the chat as well from an unnamed ex-fatty. He says, can you please not say that Stormcast stuff is bent as shit? You're just a racist fuck and you need to stop being a little bitch about it.
I think I need to show him how bent it is when I beat his ass. Is this the...
I think that's from a Stormcast player.
Is that the ex-fatty one? I think I might, the ex-fatty.
That's fine. All right, I just thought I'd bring it up because it was like a small thing. I didn't want to go into super detail. I think it's amazing. Be super aware of it when you're building your army lists. That if there happens to be loads of Stormcast players locally, and there doesn't seem to be loads of Stormcast players, I wonder if people are putting Stormcast armies together. They're still painting them.
Well, I've seen a few armies where they brought a Stormcast wizard just so that they can bring this thing.
Yes.
But
for me, I think the idea of being able to like build yourself like a little bunker. I almost think about a mirror match where there's 3 ballistas and a Lord Ordinator, or 4 ballistas and a Lord Ordinator. I just drop the comet next to that and feel like, cool,
they're all going to stay there. Yeah.
I can deal with that in that little section in a couple of turns. Thinking about it with my Chaos Dwarves and my Magma Cannons, it makes me think, do you know what? I'm probably not going to take the Magma Cannons because just this existing in the world means that my little bunker for shooting out of is probably not very survivable, realistically.
Well, just means that people are going to have to spread their war machines out.
Yes, I know, but then,
I know it then breaks your buffs and stuff, but
yeah, you would have to.
Yeah, but
you would have to.
Life's a bitch.
Too right, brother. Too right. All right. So I just thought I'd bring it up. John, you got anything to add to it? Do you think?
Fucking whinging millennials.
No, I think it's good. But I also, as I said, I think it's a bit situational. It's not as effective.
I don't think it's as good
as a ballista, for example. Death armies, Nighthaunt, Nurgle, any MSU army. The expensive one like Stormcast, for example. I guess, well, if you play against a guy who has 4 ballistas and they put them in the bunker and they know they have this combat, you probably won't play against a home for retards. So I feel it's a bit situational, but it can also be good because you force your opponent to play in a certain way.
Okay. All right, yeah. No, yes, it's something you can use to bully your opponents.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It makes them play differently, but then you've
stretch.
got to be able to take advantage of that.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, good. All right, I just thought I'd bring it up. It's one of those like little like hot picks of the week, really. I just think it's an interesting spell. I think it's really strong, in my opinion, and like something to watch out for as we're playing through. I think more people are going to start taking it personally.
Yeah,
good.
I think we see it at 100 points. You think that's too much for a spell, but I've started to think about this recently, just with spellcasters, and this might be because I've been playing a lot of 40k where you can do lots of smites. So lots of arcane bolts, basically. It still does D3 mortal wounds. And I found that super useful for dealing with units, especially like elite units with armor saves. So then I come back to Age of Sigmar and I keep looking how many wizards can I take? Well, actually, if a wizard's 80 points or 100 points, if I add on 20 or 30 points for an endless spell, and it does a couple of mortal wounds or D3 or,
above.
Well, more. I'm just thinking mortal wounds, effectively.
Yeah.
I'm just like, actually, casting a mortal wound spell all the time, or if I can do 3 or 4 into an enemy unit all at the same time, especially a monster or something with a good armor save, seems like a good cost value to add to the cost of a wizard. Because it also means I don't have to do that endless spell. I can do whatever spell I'm taking as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and there's the realm spells as well, isn't there? So there's always spells, apparently.
Huh?
There's always spells, apparently. Bastards.
All right, next up. So, that's everything. Unless you guys have got any news from Age of Sigmar this week.
Not really.
John?
Nope.
No?
Dispossessed are still kicking ass.
Dispossessed are not kicking ass, Nate.
Oh, I have a grudge for Crimbobo.
Okay.
I'm grudging. I'll even make it live. I'm grudging the pirate himself.
Oh, Mr. Pete Humpage.
Mr. Pete.
Is he taking his Order Draconis still?
I think so.
Wow.
I think so. I need to know how I can smash out those dragons.
With
I've seen
great
around.
difficulty,
With a comet.
There's with a comet, yeah.
Well, he goes
There you
first,
go.
doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Plus, you're also a death player.
Yeah.
So no matter what the spells, no matter what
Hand of
the
dust.
app says, you can't take the comet.
I'm going to give it a go. I've seen a few
Oh
people
my
play
God, John!
it.
Please stop that.
Sorry.
I'm sure a couple of people tried that list out this weekend. I think I've seen on Twitter a few.
Yeah, it's gaining popularity, the old
I've seen a few
dragon list.
few people using it.
What, Order Draconis?
Yeah.
I think AD Mac might be using it.
I've seen a couple of people start one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Whitehead,
Yeah, Paul.
Tomlinson has.
I mean,
quite
it's a
few
super low
lists.
model count army, right?
Yeah.
You're talking 19 models to paint up, so 4 dragons and 15 dragon blades if you're building it that way.
Yeah.
Cheap, right?
Yeah, really cheap.
It's pretty cool as well. Yeah. That's the army, if anyone's interested. Sure, we could probably put an army list together and include it in the show notes, but it's basically
Or just hunt down Pete.
It's specifically one of the dragons has got the doppelganger cloak, one of the dragons has got the quicksilver potion, and it's also using the dragon host formation.
Yeah, sometimes it uses it twice. I've seen some lists with 2 dragon host formations.
Really? That's smart. What, to get 3 artifacts, 3 command points? That's really clever. Yeah. All right, that's cool. Okay, cool. All right. And it's a £200 army. Says LV in the chat.
Yeah, it's super
Which
cheap.
is really cheap barrier for entry for.
And I think
not barrier.
Pete's one is in the Hallow Heart as well, if Tempest Eye is in play.
Yeah, so if you're able to use the cities from
Firestorm.
Firestorm game if the
Firestorm.
army. And AD Mac's also taken it, and his has got two dragon hosts as well. So seems to be the done thing. Cool. All right. So should we go on with the main part of the show?
Yeah.
The thing we didn't do last week. Maybe it won't take as long. Maybe it will. So we're going to do the factioning for Age of Sigmar for the other 2 factions that we haven't done. Obviously, Brayherd and Warherd aren't going to be counted because we don't know what that's going to end up like. But Nathan, do you want to tell everyone what it's like, how we rate the armies?
Well, we look at them and see how we reckon they'll do in a 5-game tournament over the weekend, if they'll win. How many games we reckon they'll win if you're playing reasonable lists against people that are of the same sort of skill level as yourself.
Yeah. Does that make sense to everyone? John?
Yeah.
Yep.
Did I know, Simon, you weren't here last week, but did you guys find it useful to go through that, and did it help clarify maybe some armies for yourself, like that maybe you'll fight against, or did it help you? I had someone in the Twitch chat was saying earlier that it was a great system for them because they're thinking about getting into the game, and they were like, well, I've been waiting for the next half because I don't know which army I want to buy yet, and I'd like to get your guys' kind of opinion before I go into purchasing something.
Go buy some Beastmen.
Well, that's the one we have no information on. Yeah. You make a great blog on modelfloggers.com.
Gamble.
Yes, gamble.
It's like a blind bet.
Did you see the get started box for that? that faction.
Oh
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
also
yeah,
then there's
yeah.
also a get
Massive.
started box.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
I
looks
think I'm going to get that just because it looks good.
Oh, also two other pieces of news I didn't finish. Before we get started is because it was at the top. Number one, the podcast has now reached 200,000 downloads.
I saw, that's amazing.
Yeah, so thank you to you guys who helped me with the show.
I
and
haven't
anyone who's
listened
listening.
to it at all.
I know you've never listened to it, you fucking dickheads. Right?
Could have been 2001.
Yeah. So, John, thanks for that as well. Huh?
It could be 200,002.
Do you know, he doesn't listen to it either.
SG Skellington, we're about to start. High positive victim. And also talking about people, Darren Watson, who's positive victim, that's his name on the chat. Also, how did the GoFundMe to send me over to Adepticon, which has been successful. So,
Yeah.
the Honest Wargamer is going to Adepticon. It's still up. I'll include the link in the show notes. If we can try and also send Nathan over as well, so we can cause as much trouble as possible. But
You must wear your skirts when you go over there. You must be worn.
It's not going to help the fun, Simon.
I think
Nathan
that
promises
might.
to wear a kilt for the entire adventure as well. But I want to say anyone that donated or anything to part of that, that's wonderful of everyone. I'm kind of overwhelmed by it. When Darren did it, I ended up going off social media for a bit because it got all a bit much for me. But it was very kind, very excited. I'm going to cause as much shit as possible. I'm going to just trigger the community team by just standing really close to the live stream and laughing in my bellowy laugh, asking questions in the Q&As, all sorts of stuff. So and I'd like to just meet everyone in America. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And not work like I have done every time I've been over there, just hang out with people and stuff. So that's very nice. Can't say thank you enough. But the 200,000 downloads is also not nothing, right? We've got 2 months left before we've been doing this for a year. We are going to have a year-long party. Not a year-long party, but a party to celebrate.
It's been a year-long
to
party.
celebrate the first year. So more information on that in the future. But also, really excitingly, I think we might be able to hit like 250,000 downloads by the end of the first year, which is really exciting.
Really cool.
Because the numbers are getting higher as well every time.
Wouldn't that be the first age? Not the first year, the first
Oh my
age.
God, you've done a thing. You've done a thing, Simon. Yeah.
I think Nikos might be very excited for that party, the first age party.
What happens when it comes to the 9th year?
The 9th year, the 9th age. This is when we don't paint our models
That's
in that
the
year.
age of Aquarius. You can play ever.
So those are 2 bits of news. So if you're one of the guys who only ever listens to the podcast, you never come on live, you just listen, you think it's great, just want to say big thank you, big shout out. If you've ever shared it with anyone or like told your friends or, you're out there and I think the Australians, they kind of like bushwhack. I've seen Crocodile Dundee, they do the smoke signals and they semaphore it over to each other. I know that's a flag, but you know what I mean. Who knows what they do.
Morse code.
Yeah. So that's great and it means a lot. Thanks. And also to the hosts, Nikos, Tom, everyone who's helped the show. Anyway, right. Factions. Would you like to do? Simon, you're the guest. So would you like to do chaos or death first?
Should we save the best till last?
So chaos last.
No. I say do chaos first, I think.
Chaos?
I think it's bigger.
It is bigger.
Yeah, take the bigger chunk first.
It will. There's some things also to say. When we're talking about whether or not you would win, how many games you would win at a tournament, there's a couple of like imaginary situations in our head. Number one, everyone's of a similar skill level.
No one's beating dead people.
Sorry.
Say sorry to all the headphone wearers in the world. Say sorry to them.
Everyone jogging along, then poof.
Sorry, headphone wearers. I was about to change my tobacco. And then I bumped in my mic with my massive fist.
Hello, Mr. Hector. If we get Nathan and Rob, I will use whatever awesome I have with my employer. I will see if I can get the boys' kilts to Adepticon. Woohoo!
That'd be quite cool.
All right. So everyone's at equal skill level, and I was just listening to and I encourage everyone to do so. I was listening to the Just Playing podcast, and they had a really great show about standardization of tournaments. So we've had Bobo, different rules pack to every other tournament.
Yeah.
You had Eggs, different rules pack to every other tournament. You've got Facehammer coming up with different rules pack, and in some cases some hilarious rules for their pack. You've got they've also got heavy soft scoring. potentially to win the tournament. You've had Blackout, they had a different rules pack. You've had the event over in Northern Ireland, you had an event up in Scotland, several events up in Scotland actually. So loads of events over in Australia, New Zealand, next weekend in Japan, the Rising Sun event. Obviously you've had Adepticon, you've had Nova, and almost all of them have had a different rules pack. Yeah. So when we go to talk about the fact you might win 3 or 4 games or 2-1 game or 1 or 2 games, you kind of got to ask yourself, what's the fucking standard? Like, by what yardstick are you guys measuring?
Yeah.
And I guess realistically we have to do it with most of the rules in play. So that would be access to all the spells, malign portents, no soft scores. That is not in our decision-making process.
But they look so pretty.
You were so nice.
So nice.
Would you guys argue with any of that? Would you say that's spot on?
Yeah, for this sort of
spot
stuff.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good. All right. Okay, that's positive. So, and a great great podcast to listen to them. I think it's like the 3rd or 4th one down on their stream to give it a listen to. I listened to that today. Because I thought it was really cool. I really like the idea of standardizing how we all play.
Such a Nazi.
Exactly. What's nice about a standardized system is you then get to do other systems, which is why I talked about a narrative tournament before. Like, if the standard is X, which is amazing, that means all other tournaments can be a different one. But that's cool. You can be like, well, actually, like, standard tournaments I like going to, but then I'm going to try a magic heavy one as well this month because I want to take extra wizards or whatever. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They do that in loads of other game systems. They have the standard way that you play, straight out of the book. Like chess. And then they have clocked speed chess. Right? Yeah, they do have speed chess, right? And they have a variety of different ways of even playing something.
You got lightning chess.
Lightning chess, yeah.
Blitz
chess, I think, is the other one.
Bullet.
What
depends. Depends.
I didn't know there was 2. Was it all these other
depends, Star Trek, there's 3D chess.
Oh, yeah.
1 to 3 minutes. Time clock.
The standard one.
And then that's like lightning. Or then there's 3 to 10 minutes. That's like blitz.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts.
All right. So there's a bunch. Even poker. There's a bunch of different systems. So if you have a standard, the strip and standard, those are the 2 systems, right?
I thought there was Texas strip as well. The Texas strip. All those Texans stripping off.
But anyway, I thought that was a really interesting conversation. It really mirrors ideas that we've talked about on the show before, so worth giving a listen. But just to prep everyone. So we're going to do Chaos first.
Go for it.
Cool. Do anyone want to pick a lead? Nathan, do you want to pick one?
Pick one what?
Pick one of the factions.
Beastman.
Trigger me so hard all the time.
How about...
I did pick Chaos because I thought, well, alphabetically, that would be B for Beastman.
There was Brayherd, isn't it?
Well, the same...
Yeah, but no, they're not in. They're not in. We're not doing them. They're NA.
Oh.
No, that's Destruction.
Well, the first one is, Jonathan, Mixed Chaos.
Well, yeah.
So mixed Chaos. I put Mixed Chaos in 3 to 4.
Pardon me?
3 to 4.
3 to 4. Mixed Chaos.
3 to 4. Do you want to validate that as to why? Like, give some backup, some reasoning?
I feel like they have a lot of good choices. A lot of strong battle line, strong wizards, and if played correctly, they still have access to formations. Obviously, there's a lot of allegiance abilities that are tasty like, but that's for other factions. But you still have access to the formations. So yeah, 3 to 4 is they're solid units, and if played right, I think you can win 4 games. But I think 3. You can do it 3.
So yeah, and obviously everyone in the Twitch chat, if you're on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, or playing at home, like have a little guess before we finalise it. But yeah, everyone in the Twitch chat, please feel free to play this game with us. We've got Meermouse says 2 to 3, ADMax says 5, and then Positive Victim says 3 to 4. Nath, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll go with 4, I reckon.
4? Just flat 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because you got a choice of everything, haven't you? But again, your letdown is the fact that you don't have maybe the best allegiance ability.
They're not bad.
Well, I mean, their allegiance abilities are not terrible, but they're obviously not as good as the specific ones for some of the factions. Mm. But then with the...
You have access to it.
Yeah, exactly. But then you've got access to all the realms abilities and all the realm spells. So maybe the allegiance ability is not so great. You've got some really good command abilities in Chaos.
You do.
So mixing them up might be cool.
The linchpin for Chaos, obviously, is Slaves to Darkness.
Yeah.
Like, and if I was thinking about potentially getting into Age of Sigmar, like Slaves to Darkness would be that kind of like go-to with some very specific caveats. Like Knights, I think are quite good in most of but quite good. I'm not saying they're the best choices. Then you've got Chaos Warriors, which are really solid, and we saw blocks of Chaos Warriors being utilised really well at the Masters at AOS 1. And the game hasn't changed so much. It's got access, like you say, to loads and loads of wizards. But the Slaves of Darkness, that linchpin kind of unit, for especially if you want to have like a really adaptable. I mean, if I was Nikos, I mean the whole thing would be sprayed black with like some silver edge highlighting, and I'd be like, they're Nurgle, man. And then next week, they're Zinch, man. That's the Nash. I don't know what you're talking about. So I mean that, and like you said, because of the sheer volume of command abilities that affect keyword Khorne, those Chaos Warriors become something very different. Keyword Nurgle, those Chaos Warriors become something very different. So there's a lot to, and if Games Workshop make a mistake with the pointing of any of those characters, they've got some big potential, right? And Chaos Marauders are fucking cheap as hell.
I feel we're talking a bit about this is Slaves to Darkness, right? Because they have their own allegiance, don't they?
No. Well, I think they're weaker in their own allegiance. I'm just talking about mixed chaos. I think you can pick and choose, and realistically, I mean, Skaven is mixed chaos.
Exactly, mixed. I was just thinking, Skaven or even Beastmen as the like originally. You're having aspects of all of those things in there.
I mean, Clan Rats, man.
Clan Rats are just. I think
mixed chaos is good. I think because they've been the Zinch, Nurgle, and Khorne have had such major push with all their allegiance abilities. I think it's kind of taken away people's like view to go, oh, I'll take a mix of everything. I don't think there's anybody out there who's gone, we'll pick from that and pick from that and pick from that, and we'll just forget about it.
Because for a while, mixed chaos was just a very, very. For me, I think Age of Sigmar armies. A lot of people talk about the meta, right? But I think sometimes that's got a lot to do with just what's the flavour of the month or what even people are interested in. I think there's more than likely a solid mixed chaos force in there because there's such a variety of.
Oh, I think there's quite a few mixed chaos forces there. Just people, obviously, there's only so many people playing so many armies, so maybe not seeing them as much.
I think since Nurgle have had their allegiance abilities, it's stopped as many mixed chaos armies.
Potentially.
So the more factions that get their own specifics, they seem to get less and less of the mix. Like Orders, there's still quite a lot out there that don't have the allegiance abilities, so there's still that thought of, I can mix them all together. Whereas Chaos, Death, and Destruction is a prime example. They don't have really any
well thought out battle tomes.
Yeah, so everyone's going, we'll just go mix, and they'll mix it together. But because the Chaos has had the books out, they've gone, we don't need to worry about a mix. I just think that's an oversight. So I think there could be a lot stronger armies out there because they've just been overlooked.
Okay. So final numbers, gents, and Twitch chat. What do you think, Nath?
I'm going with 4.
4?
4 to 5.
Simon thinks 4 to 5. Jonathan?
3 to 4.
3 to 4. I think I'm going to settle on 4 if that's okay with everyone, because it's just going to have to be. I feel comfortable with that anyway. I think 4, especially when you got to think about some of the other threats. But I don't know. I think I talked about Marauders. Just this is a final point. I'm sorry to bludgeon it, but I think Marauders are one of the best chaff screens in the game. And in my opinion, whether or not it's a Horde meta or a chaff meta for Age of Sigmar, I think the ability to shut down eel strikes, fight Nighthaunt, stop. Stormcast are a worse alpha strike charging than the eels because the eels can fly. Yeah. Right? Like you can create ball control against Order Draconis with I don't know, I'm just super sold on just because it's 40 wounds and 40 models for 200 points. It just seems really good. And for a backbone of a mixed chaos force, plus you can take Chaos Dwarves as battle line for chaos. Just saying. Just saying.
Never even heard of that. What's that?
Those fake things that apparently hate flying.
Yeah.
Especially anything over 6 inches. No.
Little Soldier TV makes a really good point as well. Reckon all the painting possibilities in Mixed Chaos would be great for soft scores. Yeah. All right. Next up, Clan Eshin. So talking about Skaven. Clan Eshin. We'll do Mixed Skaven as well, because I think that's a conversation as well.
I don't know. I ever played.
It's a bit limited, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very limited.
Yeah. But they'll probably catch somebody. I don't even know if have they got battle line?
And they do.
Gutter runners.
Gutter runners. They've got gutter runners, night runners, then they've got the assassin, and then they've got the
Deceiver.
No, it's not the Warp Seer. They have the
Deceiver.
The Vermin Lord Deceiver.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, John. John, go on. You take this. What do you think?
1 to 2.
1 to 2.
Oh, they got the Death Runner as well from.
Yes, they do from Silver Tower.
Yeah.
Who had a bit? He got beaten up a little bit recently. He had his. So if you guys are excited by him and you've got the Silver Tower book, make sure to check the FAQ. Watercon may have also been updated. But there's an FAQ specifically saying you can't take 2 command traits and 2 artifacts, or the same one and duplicate it out, which was a cool thing that some Australian people were doing. Yeah, good, bad. 1 to 2.
1.
1.
Yeah, I don't think they've got enough at all. Nothing. I mean, especially with certain missions. I mean, they've got one guy who's got a wizard.
So yeah, but they've got one character as a wizard. He's fairly cheap. I think he's 220.
Is he named?
They got 3 characters.
So the
But
Lord,
only one's a wizard. But then obviously you can ally in Skaven wizards.
yes,
Yeah.
But the Deceiver, the Vermin Lord Deceiver, is pretty decent at murdering stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
Just
one
take
threat.
He's a better ally, I think.
yeah, he is. Yeah. You also can't Russian doll the thanks Velatron the assassin anymore either. Sadly, #sadface. All right, so 1 to 2. I feel like 2. I think you can catch someone out with them.
Just the unknown.
I mean, all the armies can win 2 games. 1 to 2 is kind of the same, but you will. I think when you pass that magic 3, you're gonna start.
Yes. Yeah, but they're at the bottom end of that. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. 1 to 2.
A couple.
Or 2.
Yeah.
Right. So next up. Ooh. Now this is. Don't forget this is with their allegiance. So not necessarily talking about the models like Archeon, because we're about to do Everchosen, who you could use in a Khorne army or a Nurgle army or any of those. So the Everchosen. Simon, you played against the Everchosen only.
No, I've only ever played against Archeon 3-4 times. He's always been an ally. Well, he's always been given the keyword. I've yet to kill him every time.
You get to kill Archeon.
Yet to kill him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he keep killing you with his Ren 3 sword?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's all about the Kingslayer. He's never really done a lot back. Well, the Zinch, I played him in Zinch. That was painful. Just to ignore everything and then auto remove one of my characters.
Yeah.
That hurt. But yeah, on their own, 3 to 4.
Oh, I think that's high.
Yeah.
I think 3.
You think 3?
Well, yeah. When I played them, because I had Archeon and then I had 3 units of Varangard as the battle line, and then I think I took a Sorcerer for Ocular Vision, and a little Chaos Hero for like an extra attack or something. +1 to wound, I think it was. But I think you can probably fit that list in, and you can probably add a 4th unit of Varangard in.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, like how capturing objective works. You check every turn who holds the objectives. So if you go second in turn 1, you take your objectives in your opponent's turn, which means you don't have to hold anything back. But that being said, though, I think that Everchosen is probably a 3-win list. Because some just can't handle it, the amount of attacks.
I think they're stronger now that the endless spells and the realm spells obviously be around. I think they can do a lot more. Just allying in a couple of wizards, done.
I mean, Archeon himself is obviously a wizard, right?
Oh yeah, and he's pretty powerful.
I think he's still too much of a point sink on his own.
And the Gaunt Summoners in that faction, isn't it?
Yeah. So Gaunt Summoner is really good. Stick him on a Belwyn, he's still pretty decent.
Yeah. They don't have the chaff.
No.
So they can't screen, they can't block out Alpha Strikes. They don't have the bodies. I mean, you can ally in the bodies, potentially.
Easily.
So potentially you could do that. Yeah, that would be a way.
Chuck him in.
I'd love to see someone take Archeon and Baron Guard in Maggot skin list. Just to see those Blades of Purification on the Baron Guard. I think it costs 1 to hit when Archeon is on the board.
They do, but it would be expensive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably.
Can you take? You can take two. You can take three. No, 3 or 4. Can you take 4 Baron Guard in a noble list? Because you would ally them in.
Yeah, you would.
And they're 100 points each.
Yeah, you can have 1 unit.
1 unit. Okay. Is it 1 unit of 2 or 1 unit of 4?
There are 3.
Oh, 3. Alright, well. Alright, cool. So, what are we saying? What do you reckon?
I reckon 3 at least, yeah.
I think 3. I think the 3 sounds good. Maybe we're talking ourselves into it, but that sounds...
I'd say it's stronger, but 3.
3.
In the middle.
They just don't. They can't deal with a lot of the other stuff unless you also ally, other stuff.
Yeah, without allies.
And model count is big, and they don't have access to their own spell lore, or allegiance abilities. I don't know. Next up is skulls for the Skull Throne, blood for the Blood God, Khorne, mighty axe wielding Khorne, Nath.
I think they're pretty good. I reckon 4 to 5, somewhere there.
Yes, I think this is a secret pick at the minute that people aren't talking about. I think 4 to 5. I think we've got loads of answers to talk about in a minute. John, what do you think?
I agree. 4 to 5.
What?
They have loads of tools to help out in this magic shenanigans, and they can punch pretty hard.
Lots of command abilities.
Yeah, so they're not going to be taking advantage of the realm spells and stuff most of the time. But then they've got so much of their own command abilities and synergies and stuff.
And the comboing.
And all the combos and stacks and stuff.
Killing spree.
And obviously they can summon as well.
Yeah. They can also summon. They can.
Which is super strong, so yeah.
And they can unbind without having to roll dice.
Yeah.
I think their summon mechanic is probably one of the weaker, though.
Yeah.
But they don't really need it. I mean, to use it.
I mean, they have it, John. Yeah. Like, it might be one of the weaker ones, but they have it and some don't, right?
Yeah, it's still strong. Absolutely. Still a lot stronger than the Dispossess summoning mechanic, that's for sure.
Much stronger. Stronger than the Iron Jaws summoning mechanic as well. Yeah.
And they've got one.
Well, they have one now.
Yeah, they have got one.
So
Hard fist.
The people in the chat are saying solid 4, 5 of luck, 4 to 5. And their summoning is awesome, I'm being told in the chat. So nice. I'd say a bunch of the reasons that you could look at Khorne is probably one of the best horde killing units in the game is in there now. Scar Bloodwrath, 80-point hero who resurrects on a 4+ constantly over the course of the game, can kill basically a unit of 30 or 40, whatever he wants on his own, pretty solidly. Yeah. He can't kill 20 Sequitors, but like he's great for going through low armor hordes. Provokatory said that heard you talking shit like I wouldn't know, talking about the Dispossessed. So, I mean, he's brilliant, in my opinion. You've obviously got access to Wrathmongers as well, and if we're starting to see lots of monsters on the board, or lots of characters on the board, then obviously Wrathmongers are great answers to those as well. Wrathmongers
are great, especially now people have to fight.
Yes, and also since the update, thank you, Nate. Since the update for AOS, from AOS 1 to AOS 2, where some people don't know, they fell out of favour a little bit, Wrathmongers, because you could elect not to fight, but now you can't elect not to fight, which should trigger some people, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't remember that. What else is there? Bloodthirsters are okay-ish, but not very great. Bloodletters are still brilliant. Dan Ford did very, very well at Bobo and several other events with his Khorne force. Yeah. So, there are loads of ways to build them. They've got
Blood Warriors are great.
Blood Warriors are great. Gore Pilgrims are great.
Blood Reapers.
Blood Reavers are great. Even,
I'm trying to think of the Scorpio name. The Mortal Kombat guy. Get over here.
Oh, Blood Priests?
Yeah, Blood Priests are really good.
Yeah, they're really strong as well. There's a range of, I think, and arguably Age of Sigmar 2 is a combat-only game. Like, with minimal shooting.
Yeah.
Would you agree or disagree?
AOS 1 was always combat for me, playing death.
It was a shooting game, Simon. Just to let you know at the end.
I tried.
What do you think, John?
I think they interact well with the realms as well, like with the realm rules.
The realm traits, yeah.
Traits and the
Artifacts.
Yeah, I think they're good. Very solid army.
Very solid army.
Yeah.
So we're saying 4 to 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
Okay, hold on. Just get...
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. As Oscar's Paint says, he's still selling his army, though, full of corn dudes, I think. Nate, you got anything to add to that? I think you've played corn a few times.
Played against them,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they'll be. I think in the hands of the right players, they'll do really well.
Because the way they win is by they're not like an elite army, so they put a lot of bodies on the board anyway. So the objective-based game they're pretty good at. They like fighting. They've got great counters to fighting. Like if you've got an amazing unit, like the last thing you want them to, it's kind of like the eels, right? Where you don't want to charge the eels because they'll electrocute you with their electrocute attack. So they've got that defense, whereas like Wrathmongers are just a great defense. Like, is your monster good at fighting? Good.
It's going to find out.
Watch him attack himself.
Oh, look at these eels! Oh, they're really good at stabbing themselves.
Stop hitting yourself. I think that's Lanes 89 says a lot of weighted dice attacks. So they function in all of the ways that you want an army to function anyway, and then they've got great like utility answers.
Yeah, they've got. I think the Blood Warriors are really good. So, like with the eels, you're thinking about rapid attacks that are going in and like smashing stuff out the way. But then if they're going to go into things that are going to fight them back no matter what, they're not going to be so happy about that sort of stuff. So.
Yeah, and I think it's an army that you have to keep playing because as you get more experience with Blood Warriors and being able to attack after you've been killed, your opponent is struggling a little bit to make the right decisions when it comes to combat. And then with things out there with like Quicksilver Potion, Doppelganger Cloak, what is the item from that Idneth have?
Cloak of Midnight.
Oh, yeah.
Is it called the Cloak of Midnight?
The one where you can't attack them.
Yeah, so you get to fuck around with what other people's game plan is going in, which I think is really solid.
My friend Mikael Magnusson did really well with Corn on the Six Nations.
The chess player?
No, not the chess player.
Does he yodel as well?
Is he the world famous yodeler, Mikael Magnusson?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Well, go on, John. What did you say?
No, but he won all of his games, apart from the mission that was fixed in FAQ, because he killed all his opponent's army.
Ah, yes. That
they kept scoring.
So he lost that one, but he won the rest. Obviously, I mean, Six Nations is a team tournament, but it's a competitive one. Like it's hard list there, so they're able to win 4 games. There, I think they can win. Win normal tournaments as well.
Yeah. The first Brain Squig saying, just let down with the lack of sorcerers, also High Nick, which are prevalent in this edition, but they can't ally in sorcerers, they can ally with Zinch, I'm pretty certain.
They can take a normal Chaos Sorcerer as well.
And you've got Slaves of Darkness again.
Oh, they can, I mean, Chaos Sorcerer Lord is comfortably one of the best sorcerers in the game, if not the best.
So it's not even an ally when you get one of those, is it really?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing
can't
is,
give them Mark of Corn.
If you're going with Corn, like pure Corn, then you won't be taking advantage of the realm magic. But I don't know. I mean, which is probably why we're saying 4 to 5 as opposed to 5. But I think it's still.
Yeah. And then Velatron seemed very excited. He said Sorcerer on Manticore. I think he thinks he's better. I think the Chaos Sorcerer Lord's one of the best ones because he's potentially got. He's just. I think that he's really solid. Like, he can give 2 Mystic Shields out of turn, or he can do, from his spell, Demonic Power to 5 to cast, and then the eyeballs, Ocular Vision, which is pretty good. So rerolling 1s for saves. It's pretty decent on some units. Alright, next up. It's okay, I'm just going to write 5. It's easy. And then I'll move on. Legion of Asgore. Chaos Dwarves.
What is that even doing in this list?
It's a
That's
chaos
not a real thing.
faction. It's a chaos faction. They've got chaos battle line in their army.
You can talk to Steve Foot to maybe let you play them.
I didn't think you were doing Compendium.
Pardon me?
A compendium army.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about that?
They're not a compendium army. They're a real army. They've had their scrolls updated. Yeah. They're.
Didn't you have to make your own battle tome with like?
No.
Ring binder.
No, I just printed it out. Like
Put into a ring binder.
Like if you have to play Moon Clan or Gutbusters or anyone else, so fuck off. Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think? Be honest.
Well, I'll beat it. So.
I think 2. Realistically.
Yeah,
I think with everything else in the world, 2.
3.
Okay, Nathan. Why, Simon? Why 3?
They do have a lot. Well, Kadai for starters.
Provotary, thanks for subscribing. Yes, and Andy Hughes, who's a competitive one player, is taking 24 to an event
it looks
soon.
insane.
Huh?
The picture you can see 6, and then 12, and then all of a sudden you open it up and you see
24.
24.
24 of those fellas. 1,000 points in 24 models.
That'll take out anybody's army.
I don't think. Well, we'll see.
I think they're so
What do you think, Nate?
strong.
Oh, so you think it's because of Kadai? That's why you think it's 1 unit for the army. That's it.
I think their allegiance abilities is strong. Their spell range is ridiculously strong. So you can't dispel their spells, even though they can't cast them. I think the only bad thing is their flying manatee, which is your
Drazaroth the Ashen.
yeah,
Drazaroth the Ashen.
the manatee
Chaos,
itself.
he's a dwarf lord, Nathan,
No, it's not.
with 1 attack.
That's why he's not a proper dwarf.
It's not a dwarf lord.
He's a Dawizar.
If he were, he would have more than 1 attack.
Provokatory has just subscribed. Thank you very much for a month. And then he's just put Chaos Dwarves. I subscribed just so I could unsubscribe.
Me too.
LV says, Kadai, skies of great fire against eels and ghosts. Good spells. Okay, infantry. The fireball spell is amazing. It is really good. And he does only have 1 attack with his hammer, which is a little bit ludicrous for like a lord atop a bull. Which only really caught on to the other day. I was just like, I played with a Maw Crusher at an event recently, and some other like riders, or I was playing against a vampire lord, Simon's vampire lord zombie dragon. He was like, yeah, he's got 4 attacks. I was like, yeah, he's got a vampire, right? He's a lord. And I was like, my guy's got 1 attack.
He's not a proper lord.
I was like, what the fuck?
It's just a figment of your imagination.
What do you actually think, John? How many games could you actually win with this army?
2. And if you have a really good tournament, 3. In general,
I think
2.
3 to 4. I think 3 to 4.
Okay, Nathan.
1.
Nathan, come on. Yeah, stop being a racist. Stop being a goddamn dwarf racist.
Oh, believe me, I don't want them to win more than 1.
And as you said, the Kadai are really good.
Yeah.
And I saw Andy both 24.
Well, I think they're fairly pointed for their utility, though.
Oh, right.
So what's their range?
Huh?
What's their range with their 1-inch arm?
3 inches.
3 inch, so it's like 6-inch threat range once you're in there, because you've got the 3-inch pile in, then the 3-inch range.
LOV's pointing out that the only Chaos Dwarf player in the last 6 tournaments went 3 for 2 both times, and that's our own Sir Fluxalot from the channel.
So I think 3 to 4.
Yeah.
And no one knows what they
really
do
good
as well.
Hashtag Bobo.
So what do you think?
3 to 4.
3 to 4. Nathan, honestly.
3.
3. Jonathan.
2 to 3.
2 to 3.
So I'll be happy with 3 if that's the case.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put 3. And if I'm honest, I'm lowballing it. Because when it comes to tournaments, when I do above 3, because I'm playing Chaos Dwarfs for the next year, right? So I've told you all, that's the plan. So when I come above 3, I can just be like, I'm above that bell curve.
Well, you beat me twice and I beat you once, so we've got to see.
Yeah. So I play this army a lot. So yeah, Kadai definitely is strong, but they can't punch their armor at all.
No.
So they're designed. I mean, they do it through weight.
You have quantity though. They have 5 attacks each.
Yeah. You do have quantity, but they wound on 4s, and there's no way to improve that wound roll unless you use.
Damned?
They have a character who can point at a unit and say, but it's within 12 inches on a movement 4 character, and say, oh, you get +1 to wound on them, and then you can only improve it up to a 3.
So when you do the +1 to wound,
you do it in the command in the hero phase.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
fine.
buff them up and send them off. Well,
No, you
damn
don't
as
do
well,
it. So
can't
you do it. No, you do it. You point at an enemy unit that's within 12 inches.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Legion of Asgore units get +1 to wound against it.
I mean, also against like Nighthaunt, they're excellent, right? Because you don't care about them anyway.
They're perfect against Nighthaunt. They are the answer against Nighthaunt.
I mean, 5 attacks and D3 damage. I mean, sure, it's 4 up, but You have
And then it's D3 damage. That's so much damage.
And with that 3-inch reach, I mean, you're probably going to hit with everything.
Yeah.
Yes, and I interestingly took a Chaos Sorcerer Lord. I just tried to buff him when I played you, Simon, because they reroll 1s to hit. So you've got 5 attacks each. So unit 12 is doing 60 attacks, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, wounding on 4s, rerolling 1s, no rend, but doing D3 damage. 480 points for that unit. They've got 5 wounds each with a 5-up save that ignores. They move 8 and they can run and charge. So they are good, don't get me wrong. And they fought. Archean's got an important question. They are good, but it's the rest of the army, right? It's just, you're talking about a single unit.
I mean,
like
the magma cannons are strong.
The magma cannons are strong, but like I just talked about,
the artillery is good.
The skull grinder.
No, the artillery is not all good.
No,
well, it's decent. It's better than
mine.
Than a lot of other artillery pieces. It's
Well, which ones are we talking about? Because in my opinion, the only decent one is the magma cannon.
What?
There's the Deathstreaker rocket, which I don't think is great.
The actual.
Jonathan, you sawing your microphone off.
What are the little fake dwarfs with the guns that do mortal wounds as well?
So you've got Fireglaves. That's 100 points though for them.
If 100 points, and
but
they
do
mortal
mortal
wounds at a
16
range.
inches.
Yeah, that's mortal wounding at a range. I mean,
yeah, that's good.
Really,
I think you're on the right track. I think the way I'm going to play them is as a mortal wound army, which is why the magma cannons are quite interesting.
Yeah.
But they also don't have a very fast or mobile wizard, and they don't have a very fast or mobile character, which is why I'm thinking of taking 5 Bull Centaur Taurucs.
Yeah, they're better than the Manatee.
Because they're 160 points each. They are 7 wounds with a 4-up save, which is pretty good. They move 8 inches. But they've got 5 attacks, 3s and 3s, Rend 2 doing 3 damage. So that's like 5 little mini monsters.
And that's normally fair pointed against
well,
everything
but
else.
they won't have access to wizards. I don't know. I think 3 is right, and I'm just giving you my opinion, having played and trying to work through the army. You've got access to some good characters. You've got access to a load of things. You take access to Scar Bloodwrath, access to Chaos Sorcerer Lord, access to Marauders. So it depends how you want to build it. But in my opinion, they're not like a 5-game army. Like it would be, be a big fluke.
Yeah.
You'd have to work really hard, which is why I want to work really hard this year. Next year.
I can see them possibly winning a tournament. If they get lucky, because they've got loads of tools.
They've got loads. You just have to. I think you have to guess what the tournament's going to be like. Like, is it going to be Nighthaunt heavy, Stormcast heavy, or whatever? And then you've got to build your army, probably hoping to get a lot of those matchups as you progress through the day. So it's a tough one, definitely, which is why it's fun to play, I think. And the allies, and again, interestingly, the reason I feel comfortable playing them is they've got access to most of the Chaos Rangers allies, apart from Skaven. And why that's really good, as we talked about, is I think Chaos have got the most utility in different types of units that other armies don't have, apart from probably Order. They're really good.
Yeah.
Haywo says I regularly get got by them as Beast Claw, but that's not exactly a ringing endorsement. Anyway, those are my. So 3 is where we've actually put it at. So then Clan Moulder from Skaven.
1 to 2.
Yes, I think
there are 3.
So aren't Moulder the guys who can have loads of giant rats?
Yeah, and the isn't it the Hell Pit as well, Clan Moulder?
Hell Pit Abomination is actually quite good.
Masters, rat ogres,
Storm Fiends.
Wolf.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Storm Fiends.
So what do you think? Knife?
3
actually, with the Storm Fiends in there as well.
I think Storm Fiends.
Storm Fiends will normally be in a Scryer army, but I don't
Thanks
know.
for joining the knee stabbing gang, Mr. Rector.
But yeah, I mean, like obviously because they can go in there. I think if you were going to go pure Clan Moulder, I'm going to say 2 to 3.
I think
3 maybe.
the Storm Fiends are really good against chaff. Those the electro punch ones, what are they called? The weapons you can give them do multiple attacks. So you can more and more attacks.
Packmaster.
Yeah, no, the Packmaster will do it, but the weapons that the Storm Fiend have, they can do ridiculous amounts of attacks and just chew through chaff.
In a combat game, because previously the issue always with Storm Fiends was they weren't going to get across the board to where your enemy were.
Yeah.
But with so many armies now being orientated around combat, then
they want to be, and it's closer now.
But that said, the other swing of that is with a lot of armies being quite elite. Which seems to be fairly true, and there being not tons and tons of horde units, that tends to mean that people are bringing ways of dealing with elite units. So then Storm Fiends tend to fall down in that environment because they're still a little bit unfairly costed because of the time everyone put Warpfire throwers on them for like a year, and then that triggered everybody. So they're still 100 points each, which is crazy expensive.
I think Molder's main weakness is the fact that they don't have any. Well, they've only got the one hero, Packmaster. And they don't have wizards and that sort of stuff.
I think the main strength about Molder is Giant Rat.
Yeah,
and also they can ally with Skaven, right? So they can buff the Jet Rats more.
I like the Help It as well now. I mean, bringing itself back to life.
Yeah, always. Really actually, the Help It was one of the few that could bring itself back because the wording was. Yeah, even in AOS 1, because it said it isn't slain.
Before it is slain, it like scurries off, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah. First brain squeak in the chat is saying that I can tell from experience that Mangala can go through their army. Lol. So I mean that's some ring endorsement. I don't think they're doing very well, but like I like to explore why. So when people are listening, they can just be like, okay, that makes sense. I mean, if someone out there's like, I'm thinking about starting an army, picking up a couple of boxes of Storm Fiends, and then running around with them because you can also take them as Clan Scryer, but they'll fall down because people have answers to them quite comfortably. And they're quite short range, but you can still you can have some fun with them. You know, you can drill them up and go fighting and and do that, and they can be quite punchy and combaty.
The utility with them as well is like you can go right. Well, in this unit, I'll have one that'll do the shooting, one that'll do the punching, one does the drilling. So you can build a unit specifically to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So you can go right. I want all of it to be combat, or this one will all be shooting, and then you can choose which one goes where. And
they can have access to clan rats as allies. But realistically, 2 seems about fair.
Yeah.
So that's at the very bottom end of the pool. So even though
I'm going to say 3.
No, 2.
You're going to say 3? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, why is that? What's made you think that?
They got some cool things. I think, so you got stuff that, so you'd have to ally in some wizards and some more heroes. The Packmaster's cool. And they've got some interesting units. I think the Rat Sword was quite interesting. I think all the units are quite alright. What's their battle line? Have they got any battle line?
The giant rats, aren't they?
Is it just the giant rats? Giant rats are cheap chaff, aren't they?
Cool thing. If you click on it and you put it into your army, and then
why are you using app hacker, Simon?
I don't know. I found it.
How do you know everything about this?
You know, when you go onto your My Battle, it says Show Profile. You click on it, and it brings up what the unit size the points for them, and their rolls.
Yeah.
Wow. Also, Jonathan, what colour t-shirt or top are you wearing right now?
Black.
Black. Oh, bro, you didn't get the memo because it seems like the team has gone for. Well, actually, no, we've gone for light grey over with the duo. Yeah, obviously I've gone for a darker grey, and then you've gone for the darkest grey possible, black, over in Switzerland.
But I have a black share, and they have a white grey background, and you have a dark grey background, so it's fine.
Yeah, all works. Yeah, this
monochrome.
The aesthetic is working. Good, thank you. I'm glad we're sticking to the show aesthetic. So are we giving Molder a 2? We have a new listener out there who's asking what a Skaven is. It's a rat person. Well,
sneaky rat. Well,
it's a beastman.
But then she fancies anthropomorphized foxes, which is just weird.
Whereas
I think Nala from The Lion King is really sexy.
Okay.
I think I'll stick with.
She is, right, Jonathan?
Yeah, she is.
I think I'll stick with Jessica Rabbit.
Especially the young version.
Wow. Went too far. You are talking about a young lioness, though, so I don't really know what the terms and services are on that.
A young, made-up lioness
that can talk.
Just remind me, you're not meeting my new cat, Jonathan. She's very innocent.
If anyone in the chat wants to let me know how they feel about young Nala, that would be
good. You get some pussy, Simon.
Right.
I had to buy this one.
How do we feel about Maggotkin then? So Molder's a 2. Maggotkin.
2 to 3.
3?
No.
Just
Molder should be a 3.
Molder's a 2. Do you reckon it's 2 to 3? I'll put 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Alright, 2 to 3.
I do think they're quite strong.
Alright, okay. They're quite strong. We've said they're below average, Simon. That's what 2 to 3 means.
Average is 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
It depends which country.
No.
Maggot Kid then.
5.
5, yeah.
5?
Yeah.
5?
They can win.
So that's it. That's a unanimous decision on 5. Question is why? Explain to people who don't know why.
They've got great allegiance ability. They got great wizards. They got great battle line.
Great
They got-
resilience.
they're tough as fuck. They're fast as fuck. They can kill you.
They have everything really
It's
that
big.
you need.
Well,
Sorry, John, say that again. You broke up.
the rooster is really big as well, like what units they can have.
Yes, they can have a variety of units.
What don't they have?
Huh?
And
What
they've got a
don't
really
they
big
have?
rooster. That's awesome.
Did I say rooster? Did I say rooster or roster?
Roster.
Sorry, I was reading and writing at the same time. They got a big rooster. Yeah, it's coming out soon. I don't want to talk about it. Also, did you guys see that? This is a side note, but did you see that guy drew the Squippos? Huh?
Yeah.
Oh yes,
The Squippo Battletone.
yes, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was really great. I wish I'd written it down. I'm shit at this. Which, anyway, some chap on Twitter drew the Squippo Battletone front cover. It looked amazing.
It does look good.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. What are the best units? Zyko's asking. Great ball control, that's a good point. Lots of models, swift. Damage output is reliable. So this is all coming in from Darren. RKM reckons it's down to the drones, which I disagree with. Morgan Stormsmasher says 5. LLV says don't have much flying. Zico, what are the best units in Maggot King? What do you guys think?
Plague bearers. I think the battle line, they're just really, really strong.
Plague bearers are solid. Plague monks are great.
Yeah.
The fucking blight drones are good.
Yeah.
The Blight Cyst, which is the drone strike
Yeah,
list.
the fucking blight kings are good. If you took warriors of Nurgle, they would be
They're
ace.
pretty fucking badass.
Knights on Nurgle are
The
alright.
clean one's not bad.
Even Marauders of Nurgle are pretty
Yeah.
badass.
They do have
So-
some amazing models in there as well. I mean, with the names, Sloppy Bypiper.
Sloppity Bar Piper.
Yeah, that's
Jonathan, what's he called?
amazing.
Sloppity Piper.
Slippity Bloppo.
And they have Nurglings as well.
I'm the guy who made the hip
Yeah.
so I'm going to put this Twitter in the...
Oh yeah, so everyone in the Twitch chat, this is the Twitter. John Southgate, who did the picture. Jonathan then decided to throw his microphone across the room. He's like, "That was a job well done."
It was a paint handle.
It was a
Happened to my
mic
That's
drop.
fucked up.
No, it just seems super sensitive when you punch the fuck out of it.
So that's just like the basic. Then you got cool things like the Nurglings.
Yeah, they look
the
cool.
support characters.
Yeah.
The
They've got great stories.
Great for soft scores.
Oh, yeah.
The fucking all of those maggot thingy majiggy riders are quite fun.
Oh,
Obviously, the great unclean ones and all their different guises.
They're utterly too fast.
Yes, they've got a snail that's too fast.
Yeah.
Which you never think. I'd ever
Slimmix
say.
is great.
Yeah.
And then the flecculent normals make them a really good army.
Yeah.
Really solid army.
The
Yeah.
beast.
See there, Eddie Mac.
They've got
dude.
fucking wheel. They can summon. They can
Yeah.
cast spells.
Yeah, and talking about so Eddie Mac, who's Adrian Water, who's currently in the chat, went to Blackout recently, came third, second,
But with most sports.
third
as well.
third with Nurgle.
Yeah.
Like, and then recent, like in AOS, I think Nurgle 5. So
Yeah.
I know we've
Yeah,
laboured the point, but just giving you a list of reasons, all of those that Nathan said, I agree with. I think
don't think they don't have. The only thing they don't have access to is being able to keep them off the board. Like that's it. Like Nighthorn or Stormcast where you can teleport in. They don't have that. That's the
But they
only
have
thing they don't
inbuilt resilience.
Oh yeah, they don't need it. I think they have everything else.
Yeah, they have got some ambushing, but I mean,
The only downside is they are super fast. I won't disagree, but they have almost no way of outside of the play touch, which I don't think you can even do now much.
no, that's in the Everchosen.
It's in Everchosen. They have no way of going first, of deploying, like as a one-drop army, like the Dreadwood from Sylvaneth would do.
No.
So, in order to get onto those objectives to start progressively scoring them, they struggle. They can get there with speed. Don't get me wrong; they don't
They've
have
got
the
the
issues.
speed and they've got the damage output to clear objectives.
They,
so.
and I agree with that too. Absolutely, I'm just pointing out, in a mirror match up against, let's say, Nurgle themselves, you know, which the reason that, like Darren said in the chat there, which I agree with, they're probably a great counter to the Daughters of Cain.
Yeah.
Especially with like big blocks of Plague Bearers, another unit. So
you don't need to worry about. I think it takes the worry of one-drop armies going against you. Going, well, yeah, hit me first. It's going to be minus God knows what to hit me. So you don't really have to worry too much about where you need to deploy to counteract their first turn.
And like Ixtab is saying in the chat, they've got low rend.
Yeah.
So that like punching through armor is a bit of an issue. To be fair, I would say that like something like Nighthorn as well, or even Leaders in the Gash, where like the way I've seen you play it, Simon, where you're getting whole units of 30 Grimgash Reapers back for a command point. Their ability to they can clear objectives, but they can summon, but I don't think they necessarily have that output of attrition.
Yeah,
they can take the damage, but they can't fight on an equal footing. That I think maybe the Legion can. John?
I think that they can do a lot of damage. It's just you don't see the really big numbers, but you see a lot of numbers, like a lot of mortal wounds coming out from basically everything they do.
The drones.
I mean, obviously hordes and shit can be tedious for them, but sniping off those characters, support characters and stuff, it's no problem for them.
Okay, all right. I think it's fair. So we've said 5.
Yeah.
They're in that top tier of you should be able to win a tournament with those. Is what we're saying.
Exactly. If you've ever lost playing with them, you're.
You're probably Welsh. Right, so next up, another Nurgle force, Clan Pestilence. So this is the Skaven Nurgle dudes.
The problem with them is they're better if you stick them in a maggot thing.
Couldn't agree more. But they have great. They have probably one of the best units in the game in Plague Monks. They just have to use them really well, but they work loads better if they're in a Nurgle force, right?
Yeah, they don't like getting hit at all. If you can get to them first.
But they do. They love getting hit.
They love getting hit.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Because they do mortal wounds when you hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they still get to a part of an attack.
Yeah, true.
With the prayers.
Yeah, they'll just be really good for like the deep.
They were really good in AOS 1 actually. They were really good because then you could make them immune to battle shock.
Yeah.
Like the whole army, and you could have a one drop that was really solid. But obviously they changed to. Well, you do have a reactive inspiring presence. I guess that's a big up for them.
Yeah. I think this.
And you will have the command points as well because you can. If you play Pestilence, you probably go in with some formations because they're actually quite cheap, I think.
Yeah.
And good. So you will have that, but you have your heroes aren't really that. They are fragile, right?
But then there's less shooting, more magic. So who knows? I would say they're still decent, 3 to 4 at least.
Yeah. So the chat is saying Nick First Brain Squig from WS10 says solid 5. Heywo says 5. Also, Heywo. That's weird to say. We'll say hi. Hi, whoa. Darren says 4 to 5. Eloise says 3 to 4. Provokatory says first they slag off the dispossessed and now the Welsh. I feel victimised. I think it was only me that was doing that, so I'm sorry, Provokatory. Positive Victim says Plague Monks is what I would use if I could start painting them. Heywo says no one wants to paint 200 Plague Monks and 2 Warp Grinders, but if they did, he reckons that they'd get 5. Rest certainly says the Welsh did everything wrong. I run Pestilence, they're potentially amazing, but not. They got a lot left after turn 3. They've not got a lot left. But then a lot of armies are trying to build to be able to win first or second turn.
Yeah. They're quite similar to a Daughters of Cain sort of build, I guess. I reckon, probably 4.
Like a very strong glass hammer.
I feel the problem is that our face is against the gun line. They don't like playing against gun lines at all because they take out the synergies and like a free people's army. I think is probably the best counter to the Pestilence army.
And if you debuff any of it, it really starts going down.
Not really.
You can shoot it to shit.
Not really. If you shoot it to shit, then that would be a waste.
Yeah, I mean, debuff was in taking out the key heroes as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as they're out,
but they're quite cheap.
Well,
and they've also got great access to battalions for like more artifacts. And probably people haven't really looked at the artifacts that you can maybe take like from the realms now on some of their units. That could be quite useful. And access to realm spells will make Plague Monks just Unbelievable.
Plague monks from the realm of
Double
fire.
damage.
Fucking hell.
Just no thank you.
Plague. That would be a plague for sure.
That would be a burning sensation.
I've got a plague.
burning
So
sensation.
what do we honestly think? Like, let's think about what's out there. I think there's going to be less and less shooting. I think shooting's going to be super unencouraged, and it might swing back that because people are pushing so hard against shooting with things like Sylvaneth Wildwoods, event packs picking like Realm of Fire, everything's like blocking terrain.
Yeah.
With things like that pushing against shooting, it might come to the fact that people take shooting because no one expects
Because
it.
fuck you.
Yeah, because fuck you.
Don't
Yeah. Oh, we're not telling anyone, John.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. Sorry. But and so that could be Pestilence weakness. But apart from that, if it's a combat game, if it's predominantly combat armies like Daughters of Cain and other units playing the game, Pestilence are having a great time. So I think they're quite strong. But are we over-egging it? Because I've always been a fan.
Are they that fast?
In Nurgle they are. In Pestilence,
In Pestilence,
not as much.
not. Because I've played
Well,
them a
they're
couple of
moving 6.
times, and I've always been able to run around them.
Why?
Or fly around them, should I say.
You could do a flying plague furnace, right? Just give them the cape.
No.
That's quite good.
Yeah.
Damn
But
it.
they're moving 6. That's not bad.
No. And the Plague Core catapults are a little bit too expensive still. But
Yeah, they are.
still not bad.
Yeah, and they ignore their line of sight
Yeah,
blocking.
it's
shit,
whatever.
don't they?
And they've also got great allegiance ability that if you do happen to roll a big 6 on the Plague, it can go pretty nuts, which is really fun.
I feel that back to the Plague Claw catapults, I feel like they got a lot worse, obviously with the -1 to hit on the characters. Because when I play them, I found that their job is not to take out the big hordes, which their rules kind of insinuate. Your Plague Monks do that, but they snipe characters, and that's their job. And obviously with the -1 to hit, there are a lot of points for a very unreliable shot.
But they're also on 25mm bases, get loads of attacks. I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan.
They're good, but I don't know if it's solid 5.
I don't think it's a 5 at all.
No.
I'm just wondering if it's not 3, if it's 3 to 4 or 4.
I
3 to
think
4.
You think 4?
Mm.
You think 3 to
3 to
4?
4.
And then, John?
3 to 4. More likely 4.
Oh, I worry it's my own personal bias.
I think
Like,
it's just
I'm
the
super
speed
involved.
of them. Like I say, if they're with Nurgle, they're better, but I don't think they've got the speed for certain scenarios.
All right, we'll just put 4. And if you can't win 4 with Pestilence, then you just shit. Then we'll just say that. That's easier. There you go. Put the pressure on everyone else. Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you guys.
Hear that, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn. All right, so talking about more rats, Clan Scryer. Warp fire throwers all day. Have you ever gone fast?
Yeah.
Such a fun faction. There's so
They are
much
good.
stuff in there.
I played them at Bobo, a really great guy plays. Terrible with his names. I can't remember his name, but it was really good. And he just popped up, did everything, and went, shit, he's still there. And then that was kind of where it went wrong. They're not all dead. And he did whiff up one. I managed to get my Reapers back, and he did not like them.
No?
No, Reapers just went sideways across the army.
I think the Scryer struggle, I think... When you think about Scryer, though, you go immediately to the Warp Fire throwers because they're so, so prescient in that's not the right word, but they're so emblazoned in my brain. But we did a rundown, didn't we? Which I encourage you guys to go listen to, of the Doom Wheel.
He had a Doom Wheel. It was amazing.
Doom Wheel's not bad. It's just people don't try. It's a bit like we just said about with the Pestilence. I think it's more finesse. The thing is, the guys with the Pervases,
The Giselles.
the Giselles can do some pretty rocking work at range. And characters being safe or not safe, they've got access to Clan Rat, so they can make great chaff. They've got some pretty ball and mortal wound output from spells.
Yeah.
They've got some great wizards as well. I don't know. Maybe
it's a
I'm.
shame how they changed that damage thing where they can just put
with the
warp stone.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the warpstone thing.
But I feel Cryer is decent. But
Yeah.
I feel it's very reliant on the double turn.
Yes.
It's not fun getting double turn from Scryer, like especially turn turn 1 to 2.
I think he did a double turn.
But that's again, are you thinking of there's loads of warp-fire throwers like from Gout?
I'm thinking Clan Scryer, absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like if there's a bunch of other units working the right way, and one of the best war machines in Age of Sigmar is still the Warp Lightning Cannon. That's still pretty.
I think they have one big gatekeeper in Ideneth. They can't handle Ideneth.
I don't know. They can ally in. They can ally in 80 clan rats.
Yeah, and they pop up behind the unit they want to shoot. They just move to where it was closest.
Well, I think things like Ideneth are the things that they want to be fighting. They want elite, low model count armies.
I played loads against Cryer with my Ideneth, and I feel like it's a Mexican standoff. But I have better board presence than they.
But again, you're talking about a very specific type of clan Scryer list.
Yeah, and I feel it will be easier to fight that that clan rat build actually than the other one. Because in the other one he can get a double turn, and that really sucks. But because I need to wipe the unit, which I tend to do with eels, Stormfiends. But the clan rats, they don't do anything versus trolls or Ideneth. Trolls is a good counter to them. But I think that's a gatekeeper. But then again, they have loads of lists that I think they would do great against. Like Nagash, for example. I think they would be good against Nagash.
I still feel like we're pigeonholing them as just doing warp-fire throws into the enemy. And I think
I agree with you as well. But going forward with them reliable, I think that's
someone in the chat
achievement.
Someone in the chat said that they require, you need to roll well, and I would say that's probably true. Yeah. But that's true for all of them. But they're a little bit more reliant on luck for big spiky damage. Yeah.
But they can get lucky as well. Like if you get the right matchups, they will just smile and know. If they have the target priority on point, I think they can be really good.
Okay, Nathan,
what sucks about them though?
Yeah, go on.
Is one of their battle line, the cultist. So in Swiss currency, I think they are one to the 8 quid. Or pounds, that is, but 8 quid per model.
So they have a very expensive.
You get one model for 8 quid, and that's a battle line unit that you want to have. It's
a minimum of 20.
That's the Scryer acolytes.
That's expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of the model range, well, some of the model range is resin or fine cast, and it has other perfection names as well. Okay, I think there's a fun army there. But so what
it's a great fun army, and I think doing your version of that, or the version you're speaking of, like a big mixed one with a bit of everything, is probably more fun for both involved. But if you want quick games where you don't have to think that much, Stormfiends all the way.
Yeah. And shout out to the best dressed man in Warhammer, Ben Sava. He obviously was playing it in AOS 1, but Morgan Sourcebash is saying he found it massively frustrating to play. It's just because it requires a bit of luck in some situations, I think, is a big deal. So 3?
I think 3.
Yeah, I'd go 3. Yeah.
I think 3 is quite nice considering it's got... Oh, it does have allegiance abilities as well.
Yeah.
That are quite good. Yeah. All right. John, would you say 3?
Yeah.
Okay, that seems fair. So you should... Yeah, that's not bad. Slanesh. The other Chaos Squad. The missing Chaos Squad. Rumoured to be making a return. Yeah, that's right. Sexy Slanesh.
If they return, I hope they focus on the other aspect of Slanesh, like gluttony and shit. That would be sweet.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Excess. Slanesh is the god of excess, and obviously immediately people go to sexiness, but there's a variety of types of excess that you can do. Maybe even buy too much Warhammer is a type of excess that some of us do.
Yeah.
Not me. I have a Spartan collection.
There's none in it, really, apart from the ones behind you. I mean, there's that guy who's fanning us still. He's sat on a box.
The oiled up man who's fanning us. But, I mean, that's what Patreon's for.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, how would we get by through the day? What would you think, Simon? Have you not got much experience in it?
I've played them at Blood Tithe. It was a really good list that he has, and I got lucky. Turn 1, he had the Exalted Greater Demon, and we were talking in our team with Paul Whitehead, and he's like, careful of that. If it hits you in combat, it's going to rip through whatever you put in front of it.
Mm.
And then I put Prince of All-Dry into it, and poof, went before it even swung. And the guy I played was just gobsmacked at how much power I had back. So I think they're good. I think maybe if they get a better allegiance ability, I mean their own book, I think they'll be better. But at the minute, maybe 3.
They have allegiance abilities.
Well, no, you want like a bigger one. I mean, I've not played them since they've had the summoning ability. But I think 3, maybe 4.
Nate?
I'd go with 4. I think they've got access again to a lot of tools.
Summoning.
They've got speed. They've got summoning. They've got wizards. They've got some decent allegiance abilities.
Yeah.
They're not probably top of the range allegiance abilities, but they're alright. The summoning is, again, maybe not the top of the summoning tree, but it works.
I don't know how much in. Oh, sorry, go on.
I think, but I think they've got a lot of speed, and I think maybe with some of the realm abilities, they might, and the realm spells, they might even buff them slightly.
And the artifacts. The artifacts are going to have a big deal on some of those multi-wound characters. Yeah. John, have you got any experience about playing with or against these?
Not really. My knowledge about Slaanesh is pretty bad, actually. But I think they have one of the coolest summoning mechanics. And according to some people, it can ramp up quite quickly as well.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So, according to the chat, 4 for Slaanesh. Slaanesh is 3, unless you're only using chariots, in which case 5. They've got no access to no chariots, in fact. Interestingly.
Oh, they're not chariots?
Well, they're not chariots, are they?
No.
They've got more than 2 wheels, and some of them aren't even pulled.
And they're chariots. Nowhere near
as
the best
defined on the Honest Wargamer.
Yeah.
So
I can see some steam coming out from underneath your headphones.
Nate, what's a chariot?
Corpse
a
guard.
chariot is something that's called a chariot. So they've got chariots.
That's ridiculous. If I got a donkey and I called it a chariot, it's not a chariot, is it?
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Jonathan,
It is.
what's
If
a
you
corpse
call
guard?
it a chariot, it's a chariot.
No, it's not a chariot. It's a donkey.
It's a cart.
Corpse cart is the best. Oh my god, Jonathan, please stop.
Oh, what? I didn't do
Corpse
anything.
guard.
The corpse cart is the best chariot in AOS,
Yeah.
as we all know. It's got 2 wheels and it's pulled by something. Chariot.
Yes.
Jonathan?
Yeah. You're right.
Why are you
100%
asking him?
right.
He doesn't speak English.
Excuse me.
He's using Morse code right now.
Excuse me.
He's tapping the yes.
We have to emigrate over there. Right, 4 or 1, no in between, says Haywo. Whatever Slaanesh is, I think that it will be boosted to 5 in the next few months. So Veltron's very onto the rumour that there's some Slaanesh on the way. Smack Weasel reckons 3. Provoketory says I'm going to use Nathan's logic, so when my Throgrim model arrives, I can claim my dispossessed to have a chariot. Yeah. Chariot. Corpse Guard's the only chariot. Yeah, they call it a car. That's just bad. I can't wait for the Model Flogger blog to update their list of
The
true
greatest
chariots. So Slaanesh, what do you think? 3 to 4 or? I think they're secretly very good.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 4.
4?
3 to 4.
3 to 4, Jonathan?
Well, I know Gary's been looking at them, so they're obviously not a 5. So maybe maybe a 4.
That was the best backhanded dig I've ever heard in my life. I've heard the bridesmaids been looking at this.
Has Nick said anything in the chat? Because he's played them.
He has played with them. Nick said, what is it? He said 4 for Slaanesh. And he has been playing with them a lot as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Haywo says Scry gets points for being the most expensive armies in the game. 3 massive groups of acolytes is $1,710 dues. Holy bananas! It's like the death corpse of Krieg of Age of Sigmar. That's fucking terrifying. All right, so Slaanesh, and again they've got access to all of those other things that they've Chaos Warriors, Chaos Knights, all those other things that all of the
Marauders.
Yeah.
But they've got cool Hellstriders, all of that sort of stuff. They're pretty sweet.
They look amazing.
And they've got good magic. Slaves to Darkness then. Slaves to Darkness.
On their
Or
own?
as I like, or the name of my new prog rock metal band. So I can't not play music. It was just more. It was more of a joke. I was hoping for like maybe even a small smirk. Maybe like it's okay. That's fine. I failed. And I will go back to the drawing board.
I thought there was more to it.
No, I thought you were going to say my slaves die down.
Yeah, I do tend to go on when I am making a gag, but in this case, no. John, what do you think? Slaves to Darkness?
3 to 4.
Huh? 3 to 4. Is that it? Any reason for why?
I don't think they have the tools to go all the way. They don't have the because obviously you need to take the other armies in the tournament in consideration, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel all the other Chaos Alliance abilities are probably better, but they do have some cool stuff that they can do. Obviously, that has been nerfed with the reactive inspiring presence, but they could do some pretty terrifying, like baby bombs and shit.
Yeah, I think they're just always better in all of the other allegiances.
Exactly.
And if we think Slaanesh is only a 3 to 4 or 4, that means Save to Darkness, because their allegiance abilities are just not great. So yeah, Archean. So there's the Ever Chosen battalions as well, which obviously Save to Darkness can go in, and then that technically makes them. What does it make them now? I thought that they were now illegal because of allies. I thought you could.
I think they are. Isn't it like this? I might be wrong here. Disclaimer. But if you ally in a battalion, everything in that unit
is now an ally.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was trying to do my night
but not in points, but in amount of allies. Because you can only have every third, is it?
Yeah, every fourth. No, every fourth.
Every
One in
fourth.
4.
Sorry, every fourth. So I think that caps that limit out.
Yeah, so I don't think it's possible to have them, if that answers your question. I would say that they just don't have, like Nick's saying here in the chat, I think that's fair. They don't really have the output. I don't think, like, they're just better. I mean, it's comfortably the best range to buy.
The utility belt.
Because you can be like, oh, I'm using them, like I said previously, as all the other armies that we talked about. But on their own, they're just meh. They just don't have anything like special or unique, and they don't do anything. They don't have like a singular unit. Like even when we looked at Scry, you were talking about the
Storm Fiends.
Storm Fiends. Yeah. You're like, okay, there's a standout unit there. Yeah. Like Chaos Knights are a bit, yeah.
They're just a utility belt for everything else. I don't think they're nothing.
I think 3.
Yeah.
3. I would be hard pressed to say 3 actually, if I'm honest. John?
No, they can win 3. Everyone can win 3 now.
You said earlier on everyone can win 2.
I know. But I think they're not that bad. They're not like the what are they called? The elves that come from the sea and aren't Idoneth. No, not Idoneth. The other ones. The one with the giant squid.
Oh, the Carabas people.
Exactly.
Darkling Goblins.
Yeah, they're better than those are for sure. I think you can win 3 if you play objectives like you should. I think.
Yeah, they've got access. When you don't know, just type 3. I mean, that seems like a fair system. No one runs them either. You do get a bunch of bodies on the board with the Chaos Warriors and Chaos Marauders. You've got access to the War Shrine, which is able to do some cool stuff as well. Chaos Sorcerer Lord's still not bad. The thing is, you can include all this and then go, I'm giving that all the mark of X and then have access to even more stuff.
Even more, yeah.
The Scourge Privateers next off this, that's a good point. 3. 3 seems like the baseline. Okay, 3.
Yeah.
Nathan, got anything to add to this?
I don't really know that much about like a pure Slaves to Darkness army, so I was just having a quick look. I'll go 3.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. You got a joke in your head, you think?
Nah.
Avoid that.
I do that every time I go on the Bobo chat. I'm like, I can't say that.
Up, Rob, my mic is sounding a bit distant.
Is it turned on this time?
It might be dead. I apologise about that. Should be fine.
You and your mic problem.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, it's not on. That's correct. Thank you very much. Next up, dudes, is Tamara Khan's Horde. Nathan, take it away while I fix this.
Tamara Khan's Horde?
It's the big, massive, cool-looking dude that really doesn't do a lot.
Yeah, I think...
Compendium as well. So it shouldn't count at all.
Don't know why we're talking about
all
that.
compendium just doesn't count as any kind of real army.
Same as those sodding dwarves that he keeps on about.
The fake ones.
Yeah.
With
ones
the
that
manatee.
exist. Oops.
Tamra Khan that has access to.
It's got a wizard.
It's what's his name? The special wizard. What's his name? One that everyone was using all the time.
No, he slaves the darkness.
Yeah,
man.
he's not in Tamacon anymore. So you've got Troggoths, Vile Troggoths, Demon Plague Toads.
Vile Troggoths are actually quite good now.
Demon Pox Riders, Kazakh the Befouled, Plague Ogres, and Tamacon. And then there's a couple of battalions.
Yeah, the Troggoths are not terrible now, and obviously they've all got keyword Nurgle, so you can include them in Maggot King, which is just better. Their allegiance ability sucks. Tamrakarn's incredibly overcosted. Yeah. The Plague Toads got beat up, so they suck. The Plague Ogres are just horrifically bad.
Maggot Lord.
In always. The only real good shout out is Kazyak the Befouled in there, and his ability to include him in a Nurgle force. But basically everything else in that army sucks. Massive bags of dick.
It's a shame though.
Huge bags of dick.
I love that model, the Maggot Lord. I think it looks amazing.
Tamrakarn?
Yeah,
it looks great.
So good.
Yeah, it's an incredibly expensive model I have right there. Which
just
fucking
sat there.
sucks balls. And it's sucked balls since it came out, and even with their update. And but what's stupid is they've sold that for the whole of Age of Sigmar. And the entire Age of Sigmar, the War Mammoth's been out of stock, but then they brought the War Mammoth rules out, and it's brilliant now. And the Maggot Lord still just sucks. Like it's just bad. It's just a bad army, and almost all of the War Scrolls suck, and incredibly disappointing. It's probably one of the worst armies in the game. In fact, it's like 1 to 2.
Because
if you take its allegiance.
What does its allegiance do?
Nothing. It's terrible. Like, it's not even worth remembering. It's not even filtered into my brain as it's so bad. It's like, you know, when you read something, you think, this shall never be relevant in my life.
Well, that was nice to read.
I imagine most of the WhatsApps I send you, Nath. Yeah, it's kind of like that. You're like, I can't be asked with this, that's fine. John, have you got a dissenting or different opinion?
WhatsApps? Fuck.
No, I agree. I think it's a shame, but it's probably like one of the armies with the biggest range that is actually shit.
Yeah, it's probably one of the largest ranges of models, and it sucks massive balls.
The biggest collection of shit.
Next week? Should we do a Tamrakarn's Horde rundown? Should we do an overview of the faction? Yeah,
haven't we done that? But we did in the old one.
Yeah, we did the old one, but we haven't done the new one.
The new and improved.
New improved. Just waste everyone's time. Hey, top of the show. This sucks. If you'd like to listen for the next hour and a half, feel free. The book was amazing. Anyway, I'm going to go on. I'm going on about it. Should we just put 1 to 2?
It's because it's compendium.
Yeah, it's the
Just
same
like
boat as those silly dwarves that you keep
It's not
messing about
compendium.
with.
It's a real army now, and it's been updated. I'm going to say 1 to 2 though, because actually you probably can do something with the Troggoths. The Troggoths are really quite good, in my opinion, for their cost. Yeah,
but they're just in the wrong faction.
It's just their allegiance ability is really bad. Tamrakarn himself is really, 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 really bad for his points. If he was 200 points, it might be okay. Kazyak the Befoul's really great for his command ability, but in a Nurgle force. So yeah, they don't have access to any spells. They don't have anything. Just bad. Hope. P.S. If Forge was listening, do better.
Just make the scrolls better. Don't make the models better.
Right. Next up is Zinch, gentlemen. Oh no. Are you a wizard? Are you a chicken wizard? John, what do you think?
I think they're still good. I think the players who jumped off the Zinch train are pussies.
They just stick with their shit.
Yeah. No, I think they're good. I still think they are. They have legs, absolutely.
And beaks, wings,
and beaks and wings, and that's the deadly combo.
Yeah, man.
And 9
They still have
dice.
a Sangor. You can still run a solid Sangor army. Could probably do some other shenanigans as well. They have Skyfires, but they're obviously a lot more expensive now. But then again, the Enlightened are super cheap. I think they are a 45.
Yeah. Well, Archeon in Zinch is ridiculously strong on a look of a couple of Zinch Destiny dice.
I think John hit the nail on the head, and Archeon in the chat saying as well, horrors are dead, basically, so horrors are not very good. I'd agree with that, in my opinion. I think Zangor are still super strong, whether or not their War Scroll gets updated with a Beast of Chaos book. It's going to be exciting to see whether or not that becomes a thing. But inside Zinch, currently, as they are, with their profile, with their current War Scroll, really solid for their points. You can just run over people with that, with blocks for them, and their battle line. With realm spells in effect, they've got great spells, great magic. They do a lot of mortal wounds. They've got loads of utility. And while Skyfires have kind of like bounced around in their utility and their cost, their Shaman went up, which made them more expensive. Then they went up in points. Now it's 220. The Enlightened themselves are still, you can play great Hammer and Anvil with Zangor blocks and Enlightened, which are 160 points.
Still cheap.
And it's still cheap because, it can't go first and attack, but they're still super mobile. You know, they can
good
clear.
battalion with them as well.
Yeah, Skyshore Coven. There's loads of really good options in that book, in my opinion. And again, access to Slaves to Darkness, so warriors and war shrines and a bunch of different things. Zangor pretty much have that covered, in my opinion. But yeah, I think really good. I think 4, maybe 4 to 5, because unlike other, unlike other games,
What are you doing?
Just licking my face.
Unlike other games, unlike other armies where, I didn't get off Blaze of Putrefaction, so I lost the game, or I didn't make that 3-inch charge, so I lost the game. Or has anyone ever played that game where you needed that 4 or 5-inch run to get on the objective to get the last point to win the game? And if at the end of the game that Zinch player still got that 5 in the Destiny pool, he probably deserves the win. But they can guarantee actions and things which other people can't guarantee, and that's got to be just that alone.
Just
I can guarantee an action. It's got to be worth upping them a point, right?
Yeah.
I think 4 to 5.
John, what do you think?
Yeah, 4 to 5.
Yeah.
I'm 4 to 5 as well.
We are all 4 to 5. I hope I didn't. I think they're still super strong. Right, Clan Verminus. So this would be Storm Fiends, not Storm Fiends.
Storm Vermin.
Storm Vermin. Thank you very much. The Harbinger, the Vermin Lord Harbinger, which no one has ever seen. Yeah, I was thinking this the other day. That Vermin Lord kit is amazing. It's got like a corny one. So this is the combat rats.
Yeah.
If anyone's interested. They've got the Verminlord kits. John, do you like the Verminlord kit?
Yeah.
It's just wicked, but they just suck. So
they've got
the named one is pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Yes. They just. I don't know. They haven't blossomed yet, really. Yeah. Although we did see. Although that said, the Verminlord Deceiver was used quite often in the very early days of Age of Sigmar 1.
There's the latest Skaven models as well, because they've got the Shadespire ones in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've got some
cool.
Verminous ones in there. And Storm Vermin are a really solid combat unit. Quite cheap. You got to paint like you just have to paint like 90,
60,
and that's where the issue is. But kind of like what we said with other Vermin Skaven units, you got access to great allies to plug a few gaps. You could ally into war machines. They've got access to a lot of bodies for board control. These guys are quite good at combat, not as good as Plague Monks, but they're better at surviving than Plague Monks are.
Yeah.
John?
Yeah, they're one of the Chaos best battle line in my opinion. The clan rats, they're super strong.
Yeah.
And they have access to Deep Strike through the Vermin Lord from Forged World. They have that named Vermin Lord that is really good, really really good. And as you said, they have access to good allies as well. I think they are a 4 actually. Like a 4.
I don't know about 3 to 4. I don't know.
Man, then you haven't played against the right build, man.
I've never played against them, so I'm just guessing from what I know of them.
I think it's like a high entry level to get it on the board because you need so many bodies. But I think it's a hazard to play against. And those clan rats, man, I love them. They're so good.
Yeah?
The clan rats are good. Although I just hate painting them, to be honest. I had to pick my mates up from 60. That was enough.
The guy who won Best Painted at Bobo had a a mixed Skaven army. To be fair, it wasn't a Verminous one, but he did have loads of really well painted Skaven models. Ben, I think it's called Ben. But yeah, I think it's a strong army. I think it's really strong if you do it correctly, and a dark horse, so to speak.
What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I think they've got some fighting in them. I think in this day and age of command ability stacking and
Is that what Jet thinks to command ability stacking?
and
That was perfect.
and being able to use multiple
Please can we do something about that? This is a different type of show all of a sudden.
multiple command abilities, because the Warbringer actually has got quite. If you can use his command ability and somebody else's command abilities, then you can turn those units into quite good. Well, I mean, they are pretty fighty. And then if you get some allies in, so you can get some of the realm spells going, then I agree. I think they can be quite fighty.
John?
And it's it's the age of everybody having a fight, isn't it? Yeah. Storm vermin are great at fighting, and obviously you got clan rats for your screens and stuff.
Yeah, but they suffer massively. They suffer massively to battle shock.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Lee Bromley, Mr. Ben Booker's, his Skaven are awesome. So shout out to Mr. Ben Booker. Yeah. I think 3 personally.
Yeah, I wouldn't go much higher.
I'll go 3 to 4.
3 to 4. Yeah, and
I think they're slightly above average. Yeah.
All right, nice. Okay. Good. Right. Warherd, they're off the charts, so we will update this. We will update this when we get to it. And that is all of the Chaos Forces done. What do you guys think?
Some good ones. The Chaos is still really, really strong.
Yeah.
Really strong.
Absolutely. You guys got anything to add? Twitch chat or Nathan chat or John chat to Chaos? Anything, any thoughts? I think we've done them all.
Yeah, that looks like we've covered them all.
Do you think now you've done the rundown for all of them, would you still put Mixed Chaos as a mid-range? Now you've gone over in your head with everything. Yeah?
Yeah, so there's still most of the tools. There's none of those tools that really jumped out. We're like, oh, I forgot that there's that in existence. Yeah. If anything, it's the fact that you don't have enough system mastery over the whole of the Chaos Grand Alliance that, there's almost we've got them down as a flat 4, and it's probably because there's a few cheeky war scrolls here or there, which with enough practice and skill and time, you can probably employ better and better and better over the course of instead of it just being like
auto picks.
Yeah, instead of I'm picking up Nagash and 120 skeletons or whatever it might be, or 90 skeletons, it's okay, I actually have included this one little character because he does this extra little thing, which is really important. And that's why Mixed Chaos, I think, is a big deal. Yeah. Are there uses for the monsters like the Basilisks, etc., from Forge World? They definitely plug in as well. Yeah. There are things that Forge World have that can tie in some way. So the winner for Chaos was Nurgle. And Khorne were at 4 to 5. So Nurgle got a flat 5, Tzeentch and Khorne got a 4 to 5. And then Pestilence got a 4, Mixed Chaos got a 4. So that's basically it. And then Slaanesh and Verminous were 3 to 4.
Slaanesh not 4.
Slaanesh got 3 to 4.
Yeah, I've gone 3 to 4.
So we go. Yeah, it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all Chaos. I think that's all Chaos done. And if we have missed one, so I'm going to do a roundup video that shortens it all down, so people can reference the show when they want to reference it. You guys okay? Comfortable to go on to the next one? Yeah. You going to do some star jumps or?
Well, I've been licked in the face by Jet, and he's.
That'll wake anyone up. Everyone at home okay? The Forge World Bloodthirster, not very good. It's too expensive points wise, in my opinion, but it looks great and it's cool. Yeah, John, you good? You comfy?
Yep.
Yeah. So we're on to death.
Sun salutation.
The faction that is death.
They're good faction.
The good faction. Your favourite faction, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So first off, Mixed Death.
Mixed Death? 2 to 3. 3. I'd say.
I don't think anyone plays Mixed Death anymore.
Yeah, there's no real point because you've got the
there's no
Legions
point
and the Gash.
Yeah.
So should we just delete Mixed Death as a faction in existence at all, and
Well,
just
you
talk
can-
about
you can
talk
do
about
it.
the Legion of Nagash? When we talk about Legion of Nagash, you do have to talk about.
Oh,
each
when we were
one.
looking at your graphs the other day, somebody had been playing with Mixed Death.
You can do
What?
it, obviously, because you mix in.
When you were looking at
Flesh
your
Eat Corpse
graphs
as
last
well.
weekend.
Oh, yeah,
last
so-
week,
Oh,
somebody.
I think that was Legions of Nagash, wasn't it? Not
no,
Mixed Death.
No,
I
some,
have a question about Legions and the Gash.
somebody had. Lie down, you.
Yeah, please.
Come
Can
here.
you introduce the animality section on Twitch? Bestiality.
It's on Facebook too. Don't forget, and YouTube. So,
What are you doing with Jet now, Nate? What are you putting down there for?
But I have a question regarding Legions of Nagash.
Yeah.
Everybody reports their game or their army as Legions of Nagash. But isn't Legions of Nagash like 4 separate legions?
Yeah,
Yeah,
What
we-
Legions is?
it is. But as a faction or even as a book, it's like you can. I mean, realistically, like when you take the Dreadwood is almost utterly different in loads of different ways to the Gnarlroot Wargrove, Jonathan.
Yeah.
You know, enough. It's kind of like it's their version of really big narrative
No,
battalions, isn't
but
it?
the Dread Wargrove doesn't have different allegiance abilities and stuff. But doesn't
But
Legions
it
of Nagash-
has two pretty distinctive differences that are like hugely different. I mean, the Gnarlroot Wargrove for Sylvaneth can cast 2 spells per wizard.
Yeah, but that's a formation. I mean, you get other allegiance abilities with Legions of the Night compared to Legions of Nagash, compared to Legions of Sacrament. It's like you can choose different traits,
Yeah, I think they're all
but
very.
shouldn't that
different.
separate them? Like, instead of being like Legions of Nagash, you're actually playing Legion of the Night, and that's a faction.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with you.
All right. I mean, I was already writing it down, but
Yeah.
sure. I was more just going.
Yeah, on that chart.
It was a genuine question. I wasn't.
No. I think knocking it down a little bit would be fine, especially as it's the smallest of all the Grand Alliances.
Yeah.
So helping to define it as to why. Problem is I think the difference might be like fairly minuscule, but we'll see. We'll see, and we'll talk it through, and we'll see where we end up. So first off is the Grand Host of Nagash. Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you guys think of the Grand Host of Nagash? So this is Nagash as a general. All the others can't have Nagash as the general, right? And then what's it? Do you remember exactly what it does?
So all Morghast get an additional attack in the Grand Host and the Gash. Also, they each battle round you can roll the dice for each sun level unit. I think on a 4-up they get D3 models back. So it's a lot about bringing resilience and bringing stuff back into units. Obviously, because you can use a lot of sun level units with that, because you're not going to have many other heroes. There's an 800-pound king wandering around. I think it's good. I don't know if it's the best, because it's like the Everchosen, where you
But you don't have to have Nagash as your general.
You don't have to. No. If you're not going to take Nagash, I still think the other ones are potentially better.
So the difference between the different hosts is.
Yeah, for each Mortark you take, it has to be that allegiance. So,
No, it doesn't. 'Cause you don't have to. You can take Legion of Sacrament. You don't have to take.
Oh
Arcane.
no! But if you take any specific Mortark, that has to be. I mean, if you take multiple, then you get the choice. But if you take Arcane, it has to be Sacrament. There's no one else you can use. Only can use the Grand Host.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so it just means Nagash can't be in any of the other.
He's the only one who has to.
Yeah. But the main difference between them, other than the big dudes, the 5 big dudes, is the allegiance abilities.
Yeah.
Pretty much the models that you take. The battle line changes slightly as well.
No, the battle line.
Does it say allegiance ability? Because then I think it actually counts as a different
Yeah, it's
allegiance.
an additional abilities they get.
No. So if you take Legions of Blood, you're playing Legions of Blood, so you report Legions of Blood. You don't report Legions of Nagash.
Yeah,
No, they don't. In a tournament, most people usually annotate it as a Grand Host of Nagash army, which is why on the stats that we produced last week, it looked like so many people playing Grand Host of Nagash, when actually some of them were playing
Sacrament,
Legion of Sacrament,
Night.
some of them were playing Legion of Blood, Legion of Night. It's normally treated as a single book with all of the different separation inside. For the purpose of this show, though, to help people, really? I don't know. Do we even need to? Because like, why are we trying to help people? Like, if you've got like 90 skeleton warriors, you can use them in Legion of Sacrament, and you can use them in. They're better in the Grand Host of Nagash than they are.
No, they're better in the Legion of Night skellies.
No, they aren't. Don't they get +1 attack?
That's better in the Legion of the Night.
In the Legion of Night, they get +1 defense.
Well, it depends if you want to be attacking or defensive.
You don't get additional attacks for Legion of Grand Host. That's the Morgas. You get them, I think. I don't know. Skellies might not.
I think it just counts as a Grand Alliance.
Yeah.
It's Grand Alliance death.
Yeah.
So let's just do the whole Legion of Nagash. One choice: 4 to 5 or 5.
5.
Nath?
Yeah. I'll go with. They can win, can't they? On average. So what are they going to be doing? I'll go 4 to 5.
Yeah. Speckles, this is your town.
I'm tempted by 5.
I've never done 5, but I think the potential to do 5 because they just have such a mass variety. I think on average, over all players, I think a 5 wins.
John, what do you think?
They've definitely got the tools.
I think there are 5, but in Sweden, since I was playing Caladron, they are only a 4.
Right, okay. Region specific. Twitch chat is saying 5, 5, 5, 5 because of Grimgast, which I've got to agree with. 5 only army, better armies DOK says Haywo. So lots of choices there. So what stands out from that army? Like why? So obviously you got Nagash, you got the big boy himself. Yeah, he can cast lots of spells, he can control the magic phase, he can shut down a lot of magic, but is that a big deal?
I think their biggest strength is the summoning ability. It's better than everybody else's. 1 point to bring back a whole unit.
But that's not a summoning, that's a resurrection.
With the resurrection ability, yeah. I think it's the most powerful one in the game. I mean, it triggers everybody you do it against, but it's just so strong. And to go, here's a 360 point unit that you really needed to kill. I'm going to bring it back on when you kill it. And it just knocks everyone's thought process out. They just need to work out how to kill it without killing it, so to speak.
I think you're right. I think it's a very strong mechanic, but it has its weakness because you can't just put it anywhere you want to.
No. But I think
those important graveyards can be locked down. Those heroes can be sniped.
Yeah, the way everyone used to play against death was unless you concentrate fire into that unit to remove it, it was just going to keep coming back. Now, even if you do that, there's still the potential of just bringing it back. I think that's what is stumping people, trying to work out if they can knock it down to the smallest point so then it doesn't get regenerated, so they can work their way around it.
I would say so. Like in death, there's just huge things. So like debuff spells and the access to those two spell law. Well, the one specific spell law is massive, and the ability to shut stuff down, the ability to summon units, pull units off the board is pretty strong. Bring entire units back. You've got access to great wizards and great spells in a variety of different ways, and the ability to cast spells with more pluses or de-spell spells with more minuses than almost anyone else. Yeah. Like you said, the ability to bring units back is huge. And then some of the better units in the game, like Grimgast Reapers, are able to be deployed in that army. Yeah. And then constantly, like when we played a game, as an example, I thought we were playing a 2,000 point game, Simon. Yeah, but apparently you thought we were playing a 2,500 point game.
Well, I was matching your underpointed unit.
Yeah, because you you brought back 500 points worth of stuff over the course of
1 turn. Oh no, 2 turns. Sorry.
Yeah. So. I think I think they're a really strong army.
Yeah, probably a 5. Actually, yeah,
and they have the ability to. You can make it a mortal wound output army, or you can make it a resilient, immune to Ren army, or you can make it a magic army. There's always a way where you can go. Today I'm going to go all magic, or I'll go all combat, or.
They've got access to a lot of utility.
They got the tools, haven't they, to do a lot of stuff. Especially,
it's basically a mixed.
It's a Grand Alliance. I think Legion of the Gash is the Grand Alliance, realistically.
But with loads of other benefits to it.
Yeah. Nath?
Yeah. They're strong, aren't they?
In the chat, Debuff spells, Heroes of Total Magic Oppression, Board Wide Battle Shock Community, Dirt Cheap, Hammer and Anvil Hordes, Flying Hordes, debuffs. I think that's a really good review. Takaloi, you can shut down the summoning, however, only the general has the trait, kill the general. General needs to be near the gravesite and you can't place it within 9.
Apart from if you play Legion of Sacrament.
You do have to get to the general, and if you play Legion of Sacrament...
Yeah, so if you play Legion of Sacrament and a unit dies... I can't remember what it is. If a unit dies within range of a gravesite on a roll of dice, whatever it is, you can then bring a summonable unit back again.
Okay.
Which is what I did.
SG Skellington King says, I did 1 command point for 20 Black Knights, and he says, it was fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, bringing back the Reapers, everyone's like, oh.
And no one shoots anymore, which was Nagash's weakness. I think is another great point. So reduction in shooting helps those characters which are in the backfield.
Yeah.
And they also have that ability. You not only they win an attrition war, you need to be able to wipe a unit out because they can heal 4d3 into a unit a lot of the time. Sometimes 5d3, sometimes more.
And then when you wipe it out, they'll just bring the whole unit back if they can.
So 5.
And also when you start playing in the realms, you'll see that Nagash will have a lot of fun with those realm spells.
Yes, exactly. So there's now we've deleted the different legions, which I think was right. I think that was right. Legion of Blood, I think, is the worst. Flesh Eater thoughts.
A guy in Sweden called Adam. He just won a 5-game tournament with Legion of Blood.
Congratulations!
I was to challenge you again, Rob, with Legion of Blood.
I still think it's the worst.
I don't know. I think if
I think it's the worst. I didn't say it was bad. I think it's the worst of all of them. I think Grand Host is good.
I've been playing it for a year as well. So
why do you have to concentrate on the worst?
I think I don't know. I think it's
the
on
best.
I don't know which is the best, but I think I can highlight which is the worst.
I think it's on
and what I'm saying
is
don't buy Blood Knights.
No. That's Soul Blight. That's very different.
Okay.
No, I mean Legion of the Blood. Everything is -1 bravery, and it's +1 attack for the vampires. So my Prince of Ordrai gets 5.
No, I know what I do. I'm just giving you my opinion.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree. Just saying what I think. Yeah. Just saying. Right, Flesh Eater Courts, gentlemen. Yeah. Okay. Piss off. You tell me which Flesh Eater Courts. Which one? What do you reckon? Flesh Eater Courts. FEC.
I've seen Luke play and win 4, so I go 4. Luke Whitehead. Yeah.
Okay. Nate.
Yeah, he's only a young lad. If he can do it, the rest of you
should. If he can do it, we can all do it.
Yeah. That's how I'm putting it.
I mean, that's really good. What do you think, John?
I think there are 3 to 4.
Okay, so basically it's 4 now. Luke Whitehead has set the bar. that's everyone else's 4.
No. I think Luke played very well.
He's an amazing player.
He did a mistake versus Pete his last game. And I think he was on 3 majors and a minor. So if he would have won against Pete with the podium with the Flesh Eater Courts, which would have been great. I think Luke played very well that weekend. So that's what I'm thinking, 3 to 4. Like on average you get 3, play good, and you get 4.
Wasn't there an American tournament a couple of weeks ago with Flesh Eater Courts did really well?
Yeah, so Nova went 5-0.
Yeah.
So thank you, LLV. 5-1.
Yeah.
Don't forget the Nova results are a little bit skewed because they include soft scores. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, the same as when we see the Facehammer results. Yeah. They have got a painted knob is worth 20 points, favourite game vote, so more than likely the winner is not going to be the best player.
Or summoner.
So just to point it out.
Yeah.
Another great conversation about that. Sorry, Shadow Seed says, sorry it's off topic, but Death hard to paint. Not at all. The easiest army.
It can either be very easy
or
speed. Very hard. Yeah.
For speed.
Nickel oxide, all dead.
Which is the hardest army to paint? Question.
Death. I think it can be both.
You just said it. Okay. Nathan. I like that we brought. What?
Daughters of Cain is the hardest army to paint. Hands down.
Is it?
Yeah. It's shit to paint. It's really shit to paint. Okay. And that's why, not all, but most of the Daughters of Cain armies, not all, but most of them are under par on painting.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Zinch are a really hard army to paint.
Huh?
Zinch.
Yeah, they got some. Well, it depends what you again, it depends what you're painting.
Yeah.
Painting demons.
I've seen 2 really good looking Cain armies so far, and that's what's he called?
Paul Haley. He's got a nice Daughters
Paul Haley is one of them.
Yeah, really good.
And the guy with the white avatar. What's he called? Is it Tim?
Tim Fisher.
Tim Fisher, yeah.
Yeah, I painted up a long time ago when Witch Elves first came out. I painted up 10, and I was like, "This is not for me. This is not for me." All right, but for Shooting Courts, we think 4, and the reason for that is I think there's a reduction in shooting in the game, which means things like Varghulfs or the Courtiers, whichever one you want, whether or not it be ghouls or whether or not it be the other ones, they are harder to kill.
Yeah,
which means the frontline troops are harder to kill. And because there's also less shooting, it means you have the same problems that everyone else has. Because you're shooting less, you're not shooting out characters. But it also means Death, who previously wouldn't shoot out characters, are also not doing that. So everyone's in the same boat, not shooting out the characters. So other armies don't have an advantage that you also never could have. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Did
you enjoy that? Dan Mills just joined the D-Stabbing gang. Thank you, Dan Mills, for saving us and being able to let me move on from that conversation. But that made sense. Does that make sense? I worry I don't explain stuff well enough. Did that make sense to you, Simon?
It did in the same way as that movie did.
Which one?
Inception.
That made sense, if you understood it at the end.
It did make sense. It was incense and then incense and then incense.
For God's sakes.
I think the easiest one to paint up is Caradron Overlords. Because
Really?
if you hate the mold line, yeah, the Arcanauts.
Yeah.
They cover the whole body and legs. You just need to add arms and the head. And there's no mold lines. It's like magic in a box. It's the future.
I think Nighthawk may be a little bit
Plague Bearer is the easiest model to paint. Green, silver sword, wash.
Nighthorn, nickel oxide.
What?
Nighthorn, just a nickel oxide.
No, I think anyone that does that shouldn't be allowed at a tournament,
Well,
in
no,
my
but-
opinion. And if you're out there and be like, I've done that, I don't care. Fuck you. Yeah?
Mine aren't. Mine aren't.
What? Yeah, this is my ghost army. You can do that with every army, Simon.
Well, no, I just put a base down. Done.
Huh?
A base.
No, that's an invisible army. That's different. Plus, you would never be allowed to do that Games Workshop. You want to buy the model.
You could do
They
that
give a
with
fuck how
a
you
Chaos
paint
Dwarf army.
The Chaos Dwarf army is fine. Dickhead.
What's he eating?
Right, you leave it alone.
He's eating.
Right, it's
Yeah,
okay, he's fine. Nighthorn.
That's good for him.
Nighthorn, gentlemen. Oh, so we put Flesh Eater Courts at 4. Flesh Eater Courts at 4. Yeah? I think some people might think that's a bit high. 3
to 4, yeah.
3 to 4. And we'll say Luke did better than he should have. Well done, Luke. Congratulations.
Phenomenal
Brilliant work.
player.
Phenomenal work.
Better
Nighthorn,
than he
then.
should have.
Nighthorn, gentlemen. In my opinion, it's a 5.
Yeah, 4 to
Argue
5.
with me. Fight
It's
me.
a 5.
4 to
It's
5.
a 5.
You think 4 to 5, Simon?
I think their heroes are just not quite.
Who needs heroes
Big
when you
enough.
have 90 Reapers?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you get 90 Reapers, but I
Yeah.
just don't think they're quite strong enough.
I like that. Right. Stop talking, Simon. He's won that conversation. You're like, well, if he gets 90 Reapers, that'll fucking...
Yeah, I still think you couldn't win 5 games with 90
You
Reapers.
can. You can.
I don't
Dan
know.
Mills, thanks very much. 100 bits. He said it in 100 bits because he got it for watching Jack Ryan. Because sometimes if you do, if you do some different things on Twitch, if you like watch a trailer, they're like, "We'll give you 100 bits if you watch a trailer."
Ah.
Yeah, and he's just donated it to us. So thanks, appreciate that. Nathan, what do you think, Nighthorn? Spooky ghosts. Piss off ghosts. Piss off you fucking ghosts.
Yeah, I reckon they could do 5.
And it's because the Reapers should not have a 4-up save. They should have a 5-up save.
No, keep them the 4. Keep them the 4.
Or no, they can
Five-up
still
save.
have a 4-up save. They can just cost a few more points, and that's the way to make it better.
Well, then you just have the other dudes with the swords instead. The more elite version that aren't quite as good as the Reapers.
Well, then you increase the points on them, Simon.
No, I like this army.
Right, so LOV says Nighthorn he reckons is 4. First Brainswig thinks only a 3. And that's because I know for a fact he plays Daughter of the Cain, and they have one of the best answers for dealing with those Reapers that we talked about, which are problematic, because it's 30 wounds with a 4-up save that ignores Ren.
Yeah.
So what you need is weighted dice attacks, Plague Monks, Sisters of Daughters of Cain in the Witch Elves, and Sisters of Slaughter, and also the Melusai.
Had I Fireborn?
Yeah, well, so that's a way of dealing with them. So, what do you think?
I think 4 to 5.
You think 4 to 5?
I think Grand Host, they are even better
But then that's a Grand Host. You mean including
Well,
Grimgas Reapers
well, no,
in the
yeah.
Grand Host?
I mean, no, specific Nighthawk units that are part of the Grand Host are better than they are on their own.
Okay, Nath, what do you think? And that's because you can bring a whole unit back for one command point, right?
I think you buff them better as well.
Okay.
So do they always lose to Daughters of Cain? Or is it not a 50-50 who plays better?
I think
it's 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50. Because you got, I mean...
Well, I think you can play better, in my opinion, with utility-wise. Yeah. Utility-wise, I think you can play better with Nighthawk than Daughter of Cain.
Yeah.
Because you want to put 90 Reapers in, right? That's fine. But you could actually put in 2 units of 30 and then 2 units of 40.
Spirit Host.
Grimghasts.
Chainras.
Chainras Horde.
Chainras,
and the Chainras Horde are like skinks or like Chaos Marauders. They're your bump. Now, what Daughters of Cain can't do is they can't fly over your army and fight but what your Grimgas Reapers can do is fly over and attack the unit that they want to attack. And if they ever get the 10-inch roll to be able to fight twice, which is their allegiance ability, then they've killed 1 unit of sisters, and there's very few things that can kill a unit of sisters. They kill 1 unit of sisters, and then they can kill the next unit, of witch elves, and they can kill the next unit of witch elves as well in a single combat round. And the witch elves can't come back. Although you can't bring
you can't bring
4 charge rolls.
Yeah,
you are kind of likely to roll a 10 because if you have 3 units and you have a reroll on one of the charges.
Yeah.
But even if you get in, I mean, if you pop up cogs, you get a +2 on your charge, and you have a 7 with a reroll. You can pin the daughters back and score. But it's a 5 out of 5 army, absolutely.
But then, so are Daughters, aren't they? So
absolutely, they are.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, I would say that comes down to. I would like to see it played more, and I know Nick's in the chat and he's saying that he's played against Nighthawk before, and he just battered them. But they're pretty new. Daughters of Cain have been out for a while. I haven't seen anyone yet with a list that's. LLV a few weeks ago, well, maybe even a month ago, was like, send me the Nighthawk list, and I was like, well, it's always. And me and Simon have talked about this quite a bit. I think it includes units of Chainras Horde.
Yeah,
you know. Like, and it does because it does the same thing that you use Marauders or Skinks for. I know I've got to fight Eels. I know I've got to fight Witch Elves. I know I need to do that, so I need to put something in my army. And you kind of say to yourself, well, 30 Reapers. It's like 30 Reapers aren't going to survive. You need the shit thing that you spend 200-300 points on that just stops them. But Nighthawk can fly, Daughters of Cain can't fly. And that seems to be a big difference.
I mean, I'm looking at 40 chain rasps, 2 units of 20 reapers, some spirit hosts. I mean, all of this is battle line, which I think is very weird to say. Yeah, this, all battle line, and you want all of it in because it will do a lot of damage. I think battle line wise, they are the best in the whole game. They have the best variety because all of those are battle line, and I think they can all do a lot. So I mean, if I chuck 12 spirit hosts into a unit, they're always going to do mortal wounds. There's no way of stopping that.
Yeah, 100%.
I know a way how to stop Grimgas Reapers.
How?
With a normal bubble wrap. You just have to have units with a 32 mil base, and probably like a 15 or 20 man unit. Because then if they charge over and you leave in a big enough gap so the whole unit can't go through, if they charge over, they can't keep coherency, so they can't move over.
A unit of 30 is actually, because on 32 more bases, is fairly challenging, but they move quite fast. They move at 8.
Move at 8, yeah.
Move at 8, and you know your 25 mil Chainras Hordes, like which is.
No, I mean your bubble wrap must be on 32 mil bases to stop them.
So
then they can't go over to keep coherency.
But they also have 2-inch reach. Yeah, and which is massive. Like, and but anyway, long story short, I think 5. I think that if there was more shooting, their characters would be in a tougher spot. But high rend doesn't even affect their characters.
No, true.
And there isn't a lot of weight of dice shooting. Like, you know, I'm sure there are still some bow splitters players in the world.
Yeah,
you don't hit it as much as you used to. Is what I'm trying to say.
Like I said, when I played you, I think the way to stop it is if it goes against. Say my army went against 5 big monsters, it would struggle. The Reapers would, because I don't think they get no rerolls. That's why I think in a mixed army, being able to just give them reroll all hits is phenomenal. but to just go and chuck 30 Reapers at one big dragon or a flying manatee that you've got, it just doesn't do the damage.
Yes, against single models. But then we are really focusing on 2 units, and there is still, like, the Mimrodon Banshees. I think they have some utility that people aren't really talking about, especially if we see everyone playing in the realms, which is really important. If we see everyone playing in the realms, then that means there's going to be more spellcasters. Yeah. And more spellcasters means those guys get to buff up their... Because for every time they dispel, they get to buff up their attacks. Yeah. I mean, they're priced interestingly, but you can run around with them. Lady Alinda does quite a lot of mortal wounds.
Amazing, too.
Realistically. You can heal models back into the units with the souls. You can make it faster. With cogs, you've got access to spells like everyone else does. Some pretty good casters.
You don't need to have your heroes near them to buff them either, because you've got the other unit, the Chain Geisters.
Yeah, but they just die to like a Sith Breeze, so I think...
Yeah, but for turn 1, 80 points, to keep all your heroes away, and you don't need to worry about them. Great. Go, I'll chuck them out, and then they're out there, ready.
Elevate here. Gets tough with Nighthorn. You can run out of points really quick because you want 4 units because you can heal. You can only heal. You can't like resurrect a full unit.
The Black Coach is amazing as well.
It looks amazing.
Looks amazing. It doesn't do a lot, but it looks amazing.
There we go. That's about...
Well, yeah, I'm buying that next week.
Oh, it looks amazing. Don't get me wrong. John, you got anything to add to this?
No, not really. I agree with the amazing looks on the... But I think it's amazing how a Watch Girl with 2 pages doesn't do anything.
Who are you on about?
Black Coach.
The Black Coach.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit...
It doesn't do anything, you're right. LOV saying, I honestly think just putting Reapers in the Gash is better, and I agree. Yeah. There is no way that spending 1 command point to bring 360 of one of the best units, points worth of 30 models of one of the best units in the game back, is ridiculous.
I have a question about this. I've been asking around and contemplating. Now you can ally in the rest of the Nighthorn army. Yeah. Which is fine. There's some like even the Banshees. Yeah. Really good. Now it's saying that you can bring back models with the summonable keyword, which is fine. Do you think you could bring back a whole unit that has a summonable keyword of the new ones?
What do you mean?
So if you kill the Banshees, could I bring them then back on for 1 command point?
Well, they're summonable, right?
Yeah, but it's an allegiance. But they're allies, so I'm not sure. I've been told no.
We won't look up now. Yeah. We'll look up later. Yeah. All right.
I think me and Nathan looked it up and we said no.
Yeah, I can't remember now.
Fuck. We should write it down next time.
I should have a proper brain. But I don't.
But interestingly, we put Legion of the Gash as 5, and we still put Nighthorn as 5. And arguably, some of the reasons we put Legion of the Gash at 5 is because of some of those Nighthorn units. Realistically, I think Nighthorn's really good, really tactile. The fact that the whole army can fly, for me, is a key element. And I know there is ways to shut down flying, but I think that creates some useful utility in the game. Soul Blight?
The Soul Blight are good. It's just they're hit twice with no spells, and their battle line is awful. So I think 3 to 4. I think Soul Blight. They do some really cool tricks. Being able to charge, retreat and charge with the dragons are really, really good. But when they got rid of Vargul for his battle line, allowing them to have their battalion, I just don't think they were strong.
No.
3.
Nath?
I don't know enough about them, to be honest, but I mean, they've got some decent units in there, haven't they?
Yeah.
So, and they've got magic and all of that, so yeah.
I think 3.
Yeah, 3.
John?
3 to 4, maybe. That's 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't say 4.
I think they came in 3 to 4.
Oh, they're probably probably are a 3 to 4, but you're not going to see them because the other stuff is just
better.
They're better in the Legion's army, aren't they?
You can make some pretty tasty lords with the Soul Blights. Retreat misform on the Vampire Dragons and shit. But as you said, the other Legions are just stronger overall. You can take. You don't have to take Blood Knights. Even though they are good. But you don't have to do it.
All right. Cool. 3 it is. 3 it is, gentlemen. And then finally, there's a city. There's a city. There's a city. The Wraith Fleet.
City.
The coolest city is actually a boat. The Wraith Fleet.
Yes.
So they have access to some of those extra units. They've got special ability. So this is found in Firestorm box set, which they still sell from modernfloggersbonders.com.
Super cool allegiance abilities. They're the
It's not
same
very
as everything else.
It's not very good. It does nothing. So it just gets you a 3.
Yeah, it does exactly the same as everything else.
Yeah. John, you okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. So that's death, gentlemen. That's all death, I think.
Yeah, that's it. That's a lot.
Yeah. Death Rattle hasn't got an allegiance ability.
No. No, they've got battalion. That's it.
SG Skeleton King, they don't have any allegiance ability, so I suppose you could do Death Rattle.
Yeah, I mean,
just play Grand Host and Nagash.
Yeah.
So
stick them in something, but it's going to give them more bonus.
We've done this to death.
Yeah.
Death Rattle get a 2. That's what I'm giving them. There you go. Easy. Why? Could just play Legions and Nagash.
Yeah.
And just have the same units in there.
The same battalion, the same everything, and the bonuses.
So that's all of those units done. That's all 4 Grand Alliances. John, out of everything, what stands out to you? I'm not saying what's the best. I'm just saying what stands out and why.
They are very strong at the best overall, on everything.
On everything, out of all 4. I suppose the question is to everyone: out of them all, if you were going to advise a new player to play an army, out of any of the Grand Alliances, based on ease of use, maybe cost, maybe versatility and its ability to play, what do you think you would suggest?
So what I think the good part for me about this is that when we go through them, we kind of find out how a lot of them are really viable. So apart from a few factions, I feel you could probably say that go with the ones that you like the models with, pretty solid, and they'll still have a good chance at winning games. But if somebody wants to win now, I don't know, I would not suggest Daughters of Cain, because you have to take a small bank loan to build the army. I would probably go with Death. Tell them to start Death if they are into that shit, but because you have a lot of different builds, you have all the legions, and all of them are solid in one way or another. So there's a lot of what do you call it, diversity with the same models. So that's probably where I would recommend someone to go if they want me to choose for them. But I feel the game is, as I said before, the game has never been as quote balanced as it is now.
Yeah.
So go with what you want, apart from a few, because they suck.
Yeah. Nate, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to get an army to take to tournaments and stuff like that, you should really choose something that you're interested, that you can, more than just trying to pick it for an army that's going to win, especially if you're going to at a beginner's level, because you're probably going to come unstuck until you build up some experience. So you might as well just go with something that you like the look of. I mean, I think probably more you've got to think about what sort of play style you like to play. Are you more conservative? Do you like to slowly, build a castle and fight out of a castle? Or are you expansive? Do you just like to just go out there and do shit? Are you willing to take risks and that sort of stuff? And
I mean, that's problematic,
play
isn't it?
Fast game, what sort of, and then speak to people that play the game and ask and find out what armies do that sort of thing, and then you can think, well, what sort of models do I like the look of to do that? Are you willing to push around loads of dudes? Probably not when you're starting off. You probably want not such a huge hordes of dudes to put out there, but
yeah, all right. I think that's also a problem. I don't know, when you're a new player, you don't really know what sort of player you are to a huge degree. Like if you're a conservative player or an aggressive player, and look at your life for some sort of things. And maybe we could do a show on that, right? Trying to guess who you are as a gamer and try to identify some of them. That could be really fun.
Well,
but also,
I mean,
most of the armies can play in a variety of different ways.
You generally play. You would have played other games. You would have played computer games. Do you play a tanky guide? Yeah. On games where you can customize your dudes, do you go for the? Do you pick,
Always ladies?
That's why I don't play a shoot the army, Nathan.
I always play the tank,
When
the
we
heavy
play
gunner.
PUBG, Nathan, you can't
normally
shoot
dies.
for shit.
I killed somebody again the other day. Legit. I came around the corner. They shot at me. I shot at them. They were dead. I was alive.
Nice.
But, but it's challenging. It's challenging to work out what sort of player you are.
Yeah.
Like, and I agree with you. Look at your life and make like a list of games you enjoy. Like, do you really enjoy like stats? Are you like a stats guy? Like, do you make spreadsheets? Or do you play like Football Manager? You know, or are you just like super reactive and you like combat games or or
Fighting games.
or just are you into like, I don't know, fucking rugby or lacrosse or something as opposed to 10-pin bowling? You probably you can get some sort of identification with that. Problem is with most of the armies, you can play quite a lot of them in several types of ways.
Yeah. Some of them you can play in different ways, but some of them do have a character like
orcs.
Yeah. I mean, the Destruction Army, you do get a lot of that character of just not giving a fuck and running across
I just want to smash them.
And then, and the Order players do have that sort of slightly more controlled sort of
competitiveness
theme about them. And
Yeah. I think that's a really interesting show we could do about different types of people and different
Chaos Dwarf players, just like a bunch of airy fairy, not really.
Chaos Dwarf players are the best.
The same plane of existence.
Yeah, and obviously,
They're good because you don't need to know how to do spreadsheets because data isn't real. So anything, whatever you want.
Yeah,
what I like about Chaos Dwarf players is they've all got grey beards. That's a fact, the world over. Simon, what do you think? What stands out to you?
I think the weirdest thing that stands out is if you'd have done this last year or year before, you'd never put death in any of it. And
if
this
year
year
before that, we'd been playing Warhammer Fantasy Battle.
Oh, yeah. The year before, I mean, I think with just 2 books and a couple of models, death, I think, for the smallest faction, and I think it's probably got the most 5s out of all of it in comparison.
Yeah. That's got the biggest width with the Legions and the Gash book.
Yeah.
Arguably, though, Stormcast have just as many.
Well, yeah, with like a Legion on their own, a faction on their own, but
they are a faction almost unto themselves.
There are more models in Stormcast than there probably is in the whole of Death, like model-wise.
Yeah.
If you live in Sweden, I strongly recommend that you take Nagash.
So you can shoot him. I would say so. Some guys in the chat say Velotron's saying playing Stormcast. That makes sense. He's a big Stormcast fan, and I can't disagree with him as well. Nick's also married up with that idea as well. But I would say, to be fair to Stormcast players, that you actually, because there's such a width of models in the Stormcast range, that actually some of the units do better together than they do you can't, like, some of them work just fine on their own, like a unit of the
Retributions.
Evocators on
Yeah.
Dracolines. Yeah, cool. They do great on their own. Yeah, but you put Heralder in so they can run and charge, they're doing a ton better, in my opinion.
Or the baristas.
The
Ballistas.
Ballistas.
The baristas.
They're the baristas. Yeah, when the baristas want to give you a hot coffee, you need nothing more than the barista champion, the Lord Coffinator.
Yeah, the Lord Coffinator goes a lot better than.
Interestingly,
one more.
Interestingly, you need at least 3 ballista to make the Ordinator worth it.
Yeah.
Points wise, which is an interesting stat. And sometimes some of the units seem like they're not as good as they are. Like I know me and Velotron have talked before about the Vanguard chamber, and about some of those units which are pretty much written off as being meh. And actually on paper sometimes do better than their sort of heftier brothers. So they're really interesting. Veltron says, actually, most folks starting, the best way would be for a friend to lend them an army so they can test it out, which I think is fair. Cash Rex, high. Stormcast have 69 models. Death have 82 on the Games Workshop. So they're almost catching up.
Nearly, yeah.
That's
the
not
entire
bad.
faction of Death.
And that's the thing as well. Like for a new player, they don't need to worry about new releases because Stormcast will be in there one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, next release for Stormcast will beat Death.
Yeah, well, it depends if there's any more Death releases with models.
I can guarantee more Stormcast.
If you are a new player and for some reason you've listened right to the end of all of this, which I think some of them may have.
Just play Moon Clan.
Yeah, Moon Clan grots.
Get loads of squidgins.
Just play Moon Clan because it makes you cool. I'd say probably start with, my opinion, I'd say start with a monster heavy army to kind of mirror Nathan's thoughts. And then work your way down into building into hordes. And then you've got to ask yourself which of those factions allow that to be true. Like Stormcast, you've got Stardrake, which is cool, and then you've got some like pretty elite things in those Dracolions or the Fulminators for order.
You got the Flying Goat as well.
No, don't get the Flying Goat because he's ugly as sin.
What?
That fella with the face.
He's so judgmental.
Have you seen it?
He's nice. I like
the
him.
blubber one.
He looks like
No,
he's
He's not
his
a
face
blubber,
looks like
he's
it's a
like a
melted
blur.
candle.
He
Your
looks like he should
face
be
looks
from...
like a melted
No,
candle.
I disagree so much.
What's that movie?
Oh,
Labyrinth.
Huh?
He looks like he should be in Labyrinth.
Yeah, he's
Looks
glorious.
Pawns.
Right, Grim Tiding says, I have listened to it all, and he's a new player, so...
Good. Moon Clan.
Or
Get
Death.
yourself a couple of Mangress Krigs and a Colossal.
Veltron, funny to think that in probably 6 to 9 months we'll get to see the next wave of Stormcast models. That's probably true. And then Tackleoy says, Sin is never ugly. Beast School Raiders are great fun. And probably I would say that...
Iron Jaws.
Death Star.
Are they a monster-heavy army, though, going down?
No, but they're really cool to paint. They're really fun to paint.
Jonathan, thoughts?
And they're nice to paint. And
They have become a lot better as well.
they're a lot better. You can play with some fairly low model count armies as well.
For me, I've got to say it's that Vampire London Zombie Dragon
Yeah, I was
box.
just saying that box.
That for me seems like the pretty low end. Although I would say,
You get a choice of 2 armies as well. You get Flesh Eater Courts or the Grand Host.
Really?
Well, yeah, because the dragon comes with the Flesh Eater Courts. That's the one you're thinking about. The other one's the Mortart one. So it comes with 10 ghouls and 3 flares or 3 horrors.
I think Tackleoy is saying that Stormcast is probably the best starting army and they participate in all aspects of the game, which I don't disagree with. And also Veltron says, Model Source Rush says, Iron Jaws is normally less than 30 models and quick to learn, but you may get buyer's remorse if you lose too much. And then Veltron's put, one of the reasons there was Wargamer to support Stormcast, there are 3 heads that look like Nathan, Jonathan, and Rob, and they're next on my painting list with a winky face. My issue is, Tackleoy, we're talking about starting Stormcast is where do you start? Yeah, they participate in all aspects of the game, but do I start with a Stardrake? It's like, actually, now, do I get Sequitors? Do I get Liberators? Do I get Judicators? Do I get X? The
Soul Wars box, to be honest, is really pretty decent. Then you get a choice of the
But you
deck
don't.
as well.
They're not complete units.
No,
That is
the
if you get the
massive
Soul
downside.
Wars box, then now you've got 2 armies. That's a mistake. Like, if you're starting an
true.
army,
Starting.
the start collecting boxes are usually the best place because they're already discounted and you get them.
They're probably going to be new, the Nighthawk one and Stormcast one come out probably soon. Because if they're bringing out the Beast of Chaos, it would make sense that the other 2 join it.
The new Beastman army. Get yourself a Beastman army.
Beastman army.
Singing.
All the cows.
You'll be having a good time.
Just buy the models, Lee Bromley, just buy the models you like. The one thing they show is highlighting everything that has value. Nothing worse than painting stuff you dislike just because it's apparently good. And it's not more I'm trying to push people towards stuff that's good. I definitely agree with you, Dave, and your thoughts that you should take what you like. Jonathan, you said the same. Like, find what you like and just take them. So if there's something that sings to you, it's just more like mechanically. I remember when I first started Warhammer, I chose between Ogres and Warriors of Chaos. And I chose Ogres because they looked like they were easier to paint. Yeah, that was just real simple. I was like, they look easier to paint. There's less of them than there are of Warriors of Chaos, so I chose them. And I think that I feel like that seems like a solid. you know, like I'm not saying none of us saying take a pestilence army, are we?
No. So I first started with Seraphon, and that was because I just wanted the cool big monsters, and it was quicker. Okay, well, I have 5 monsters done. So
I think you shouldn't rush people to like paint their first army, but to build them so they can start playing.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's fair.
I think that's the important part to get them playing, like enjoy the game. The painting will come.
And if I have one piece of advice, super glue your models to the base. Do not plastic glue them.
Yes.
So you can snap them off, and then you can base them however you like at some appropriate point. That is probably the thing I least am happy that I ever did.
Oh, I've got loads.
Such a pussy. Just base around them.
No, I'm never going to base around them because I can't paint around them. So, nope. What did you?
I never use plastic glue on anything at all.
What, just on anything at all? That is bold.
That's why you've stuck yourself to your own chair so many times.
You can't do that with plastic glue. You need super glue.
Yeah, I know. That's why. You've had a skin transplant from the neck down.
There's patchwork colours. Different skin that you can get hold of that day.
Would you advise new players to pick up the endless spells?
Yes.
Maybe. To be fair, they're very easy to build.
Yeah, because you can chuck them in any army. You'll use them eventually.
And they'll add a lot of variation as well.
Yeah.
That's
the layer to the game.
But yeah, I mean, just
You can use them without even being painted, technically. Well, they look different colours, so you kind of stand out.
Well, I think you just need to watch a couple of games, maybe, and obviously you've got to know something about the game if you're going to be wanting to get in. You're not just going to start buying the game.
Yeah,
so,
if you've already got to the stage of listening to this show.
Yeah. I think looking at play styles is a good way to think about how you want to play the game, and then take it from there.
Yeah, that is a good one.
We should do a spreadsheet for this, like shooty, check, resilient, check, and then.
Oh, like it, and it goes follow the arrows, yes or no.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you like shooting? Yes. Caradron. Do you like to win? No. Something else.
Oh, I'm gonna grab you, Simon, the next time.
I did that last time, but I'm sure I beat you with the beast.
What happened to the beast of Nurgle, Jonathan?
Yeah, what happened to all the
Are they painted?
Some of them.
I listened to that army for 2 weeks. I heard you talk about that army.
Yeah.
You need to stop getting on the fucking. You need to commit to an army for a year, John.
I'm doing it, Caradon.
It's the most boring army you've picked for a year.
Yeah. And I'm gonna kick the shit out of people with their assumed knowledge that Caradon
I challenge you.
Not assumed knowledge.
I will take on your Caradron with my Night
Horse. Come on, bitches.
Yeah.
Can play 2 of you at once, man.
I've never beat Caradron, but that was before they were.
I'll take the second army off the other turn.
Right. Okay. Good. So I think that's everything for the show. But we started doing a new thing. We started doing a new thing on the 40k show. So I'm going to ask you guys to do this. Before we do it, though, to wrap up the show, before we do it, I just want to say thank you to everyone on Patreon, everyone on Twitch who subscribes and donates money, because that's why we're able to do the show. So I want to say thank you to my host, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Nathan.
Thanks, man.
Jet the dog. Simon.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so do you guys want to hear, because obviously you've listened to the 40k show, so you already know what the game is, right? You fucking bastards. Right, so the game is this. We pick a faction, and Simon, you're the guest, so you get to pick a faction.
Okay.
All right, pick any faction in the game.
Beast of Chaos.
Not out yet. Stop all of you picking Beast of Chaos, you fucking nuggets. Yeah? Right? When it's released, we'll fucking talk about it. Right? Until then, right?
Oh, the trigger really worked then. Dispossessed.
Perfect. Oh, fuck's sake. This is... I'm
You gotta get your words out.
Oh, right.
We have two dispossessed players.
This is a very... Do you know what? Can I ask for... Simon, I'm asking for someone else in the chat. Yeah? Someone in the chat, pick a faction. That's what I want.
We have two dispossessed players.
Yes, but that's the problem. We can't pick them because they're going to massively weight the conversation in their favour. Yeah? So we're not having this.
Is that so certain other faction doesn't sound as good?
LV said dispossessed. He's ridiculous one, isn't he? Right? Just show a
the thing
dick.
is, we don't even know what he's doing.
There we go. Our new boy, Grim Tiding, has said Nurgle. Right, so what we do is this. You pick a faction. We pick Maggotkin and Nurgle. And then what we do is we describe the attributes of someone who would play Maggotkin of Nurgle. Okay?
Oh, they would have been good as this.
Right, so first off, clothes. What clothing would... now, obviously, the real answer is cargo shorts, band t-shirt, hat, because that's every wargamer in the world ever. But moving on from that, our imagined Maggotkin of Nurgle player, potentially a doctor's coat. What do you think of that? Maybe he's wearing leather trousers so as to be easy wipe. An anorak. Do you get where I'm going with this?
A gardener's jacket.
What, you mean like
leather?
Like proper, like a tool utility with trowels and shovels and stuff all stuck in a long coat.
So you mean like a builder's outfit?
Not quite a builder's
What about dungarees?
Dungarees, that's what I was thinking of,
Dungarees.
yeah.
And one of them, what, like, not cork, but, you know, woven
halo?
hats.
Oh.
No, you know, like the
A straw hat.
straw hat,
Yeah. Like
And what if his pocket filled with roofies?
the roofies.
Wait, Velatron says accountants would love Nurgle. They're reliable. That makes loads of sense. Yeah, stoic.
So what roofies?
Roofies are, especially if you're roofie yourself.
Reliable roofies.
So like to follow on what Velatron said. Maybe they've got an allotment, which is a thing here in the UK, where a very small bit of land is people grow like 8 carrots on it, and they talk about it all weekend. Go down to the allotment. You know, that's an allotment in the UK.
They could be metal detectors.
Oh, yes, nice.
Nurgle metal
I think
detectors.
that, like the detectorists.
Yes.
Nice. What do you think, Dave?
What the fuck are you asking?
Perfect. John, what do you think?
He's
Metal
just
detectors.
No, not
What
about...
do you use the metal detectors for?
They detect... Do you not know about this thing in the UK?
it's amazing. Well, it's Netflix, surely.
Oh, there's a TV show on Netflix called The Detectorist.
Where they find old shit and sell it for loads.
Yeah.
Well, they don't find shit in the show.
I mean, one guy found like a big block of gold recently.
Yeah?
Yeah. But yeah, so metal detectors. All right, so what sort of music would they play? We've already established wearing dungarees, a hat, maybe some chinos. Chino dungarees.
Country and western.
Country and western?
Yeah, I think country music. You can see
Nurgle player.
you can see a Nurgle player just sat on his porch, like, rocking chair.
There's a type of metal called sludge.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, bagpipe music. Yeah.
Why would they listen to bagpipe music?
Sloppy bagpipe. Could you not imagine?
What about grunge? The music.
I think they'd listen to musicals, but of Gilbert and Sullivan,
Gilbert Sullivan.
that sort of stuff.
I still think country and western, like with the little plows
I know.
ploughing away and banjos.
I'm going back to the reliability theme. The 4-chord song.
What?
4-chord song. What, techno?
No, like with the guitar, where you have 4 chords that work with every song.
Oh, I've seen that. There's the Australian guys.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Get ready, everyone. Reduce the volume on your headsets.
This one goes with everything. What's the song on here? No woman, no cry.
Is he?
Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Yeah. You know, every song works.
Okay. Velatron says, once I saw it in the UK, there was a show about people using walkie-talkies to track down roadkill, pick them up and eat them for dinner. They might like, yeah.
I see Nurgle as a lot more fun, loving, and happy.
Who Nurgle players? Don't forget it's
Nurgle players.
They're more fun-loving and happy.
Yeah.
With a really
spent
trudging
army.
army.
Yeah, but the paint dead quick with all the washers. It can make it really bright.
They're not
a lot of it's
grudgy
really
now.
bright. They're not grudgy.
Normals, are they? And
That's
fucking cogs.
I think Core want to be all heavy
Right.
metal
So
stuff.
what other hobbies would they have?
Gardening.
Picking their nose.
Pottery, like the potter's wheel.
Pottery.
Yeah, potter's wheel with
Simon, you're fascinated for this. A potter's wheel.
Why not?
Okay.
They can make...
Wouldn't that make more sense if they were a Night Orc player?
No, because they could make the pots for their plants.
Fascinating, amazing. I imagine they love trips to B&Q then.
Yeah.
Get themselves some new pots, get themselves some new plants. Just something like really sensible.
Pesticide.
For their allotment.
For their allotment,
Exactly.
yeah, absolutely. John, anything to add?
He's trying to remember his 4 chords.
This is hard. This is really hard.
Isn't it fun though?
I think they'd live in a thatched wood cottage as well.
No, I know what. They would be in that mold business, like the cheese and stuff.
Huh?
Cheese wheels, like Wallace and Gromit.
And
Gromit could be the player.
Just because there's collecting bugs. Also, Pa reckons they might be bell ringers.
Yeah, I think Pa's onto something.
Yeah, bell ringers is good.
That's a great hobby.
Yeah, I did some bell ringing. I bell rung Lincoln Cathedral the other week.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And the whole time I was like, oh, you can ring my bell. Guy was like, I wish I'd asked you. I was like, 5 minutes of this, baby. Alright, so that's hobbies. What's their favourite film? A Nurgle player's favourite film?
The Fly.
Yeah, The Fly or...
Don't they like Outbreak?
Too
No?
close to
Too
home.
violent for them.
That's too violent for them. Yeah, they do like something that's a little... Fly's quite violent. It's not a thing.
What about Build It and They Will Come? The baseball film.
What, Field of Dreams?
Yeah, what? Fields?
Oh my god, you're such a tenuous link.
Why? Look, why not? Could you not imagine them, a player liking Nurgle and liking the Field of Dreams? It's a good film. You know who should have won an Oscar in that? Nathan?
Who?
Oh, come on, you do this every time you talk about a film. Every time I've seen this, there's always one guy that you say he should have won an Oscar.
Yeah, I know it's Heath Ledger, but he's not in that film.
I know, but he says it for every film anyway.
One of the best actors of our generation is in that film.
What?
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, I mean, he's the other greatest actor of our generation. Toxic Avenger, the film, they would love. Yeah. That is a great movie. Well, good shout, Lee Bromley. Just Nikos says The Thing. Voltron says...
The Thing is good, yeah.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see them playing golf. I can see Nurgle players playing golf. And they'd be like, what are you doing after this? Like, I'm just going to go move 90 things forward. Just watch the other person sweat as they roll dice for 2.5 hours. Day of the Triffids, that's another one. Okay, cool. So that's the films. We've done the music that they like. Food. What food would they eat?
Chili cheeseburgers. Why not?
Oh, actually, cheeseburgers too.
There you go.
Yeah, I'd go with that. Yeah.
Chili cheeseburgers?
Why not?
Why not?
They're
They're
nice.
nice.
Like a mushroom risotto.
Yeah, but
What about blue
those are
cheese
quite
sandwiches?
nice.
Blue cheese sandwiches.
why vegan? Why not eat meat? Are they vegan or vegetarian?
I haven't even approached that subject. Just because I'm a vegetarian, it's not
No,
bringing it up,
because
you fuck.
you went straight to mushrooms
Yeah?
and blue cheese. We said a cheeseburger.
Yeah, we're just feeling like a cheeseburger.
Okay, haggis, says the Q.
Yeah.
That's more like flesh eater corpse.
Yeah.
Fermented fish.
Fermented fish. Ugh,
Sushi?
guys.
Yeah, sushi.
No, they wouldn't eat
That's not fermented,
sushi.
Why? Nurgle versus Ardeneth? Sushi.
Oh, 3 onion rings laced out in the Nurgle symbol. Great work, Nikos. Yeah. Good. Dirty martinis. Korean barbecue with extra garlic. From food, the fish head Swedish people bury in the earth for 6 months before eating it. What's that, John? Is that what the Yakults?
Yeah, that's the fermented fish. I should bring a can to you guys.
No,
No.
don't.
Well, we don't want that. Thank you. No, thank you. That's fine. Yeah, blue cheese. All right, so there you go. I think that's a fun game we can play at the end of each show.
Put somebody in a
Another
box.
one.
Huh?
Put somebody in a box.
Yeah. Label people. Yeah. So if you're that exact Nurgle player, please send us a selfie picture
That'd be amazing
of your
to see.
DVD collection in front of some food while on the allotment and wearing your dungarees and countryside hat. That would be. What do you
Listening
think of
to
that section,
Gilbert
Nate?
and Sullivan. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bit crazy.
I
But
think
it's
I'd
good.
like to be
For
friends
the
with this
next
man.
one.
I think he'd be a
For the
great
next
person
one.
to know.
Yeah.
Can't we prepare for the next one?
I mean, yes, but I had to like reveal to you the section live because it's more fun than reveal.
Why didn't we do
Yeah.
Beastman?
Because we don't know what
Why
the
didn't we
story
do
is yet, you
Dispossessed?
fucking
We-
dicks.
I
we
think
do.
They
No,
also don't have any
players-
story. Their silver and short. That's their story. They don't have any story anymore.
Well,
Dispossessed
don't need a
players
story.
are awesome
We're
players.
just
You do
making
need a
shit
story
up.
to make
Players
appropriate.
Are really easy to stereotype.
Who?
Yeah.
They have beards
Yeah. The Vikings.
and they have those small glasses. You know.
Who? Dispossessed
small-
players.
Yeah.
do you
but
own
they
any
have
glasses?
generic-
Shot.
And they have short hair.
Or no hair.
Or no hair. Preferably no hair.
I love how you went glasses, yet the 2 dispossessed players here don't wear glasses.
Is Provoke Tree still in the room? I wonder what he looks like. Listen, we're not doing them. We've done it. Yeah? We've done Nurgle. That's the thing. So thank you.
Shouldn't we just run through all the factions quickly?
Huh?
Shouldn't we just run through all the factions quickly?
No, because that's not what we're doing. We've done the show. The show's been done. Everyone's done really well. Everyone on the Twitch chat's done really well. You guys have done really well. Jet's done really well. Jonathan, you've done really well, apart from whatever was happening in your microphone.
I don't know. I think I might need to burn it. It's a shame. It's a really expensive headset, but I broke it.
Is it a Nike one? That's why people burn them, right?
Oh, what's the thing about Nike?
We're not talking about it. We're not talking about it. It's
That
a
might be a bit
polarizing
more.
subject.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Is it the American Army thing, right?
No, it's the fact that Nike runs sweatshops and slave labour around the world.
And they
Oh,
don't
they
like
all
somebody
do. They all
puts...
do.
To be fair, they all do, so fuck us all, right?
Well, it's Disney.
Yeah?
It's all Disney, isn't it?
So that's fine. It's a terrible way to end the show. Let's do it on a high note.
Nurgle cheeseburger.
Huh?
Nurgle cheeseburgers.
Noble cheeseburger. Nathan, you got a high note to end on? That's a musical high note. Jonathan, anything else not laden with horror?
Well, it's kind of laden with horror. Caradron will be back.
Oh my god!
And they will deny people games yet again.
That's a good joke for the end. Of
Yeah,
this.
it is a good joke for the end. That's cracking. Hey, everyone, thanks for listening. Thanks for helping us reach 200,000 listens. If there's anyone out there you think that would value these shows, they're useful to people, share it, let them know, like tweet them, go on the Warhammer Age of Sigmar network group on Facebook and then just constantly, like between you and your friends, say, hey, does anyone know a good Age of Sigmar podcast? Yeah, or show, and then just immediately get your friend to write immediately, the honest-wargamer, yeah, and then just repeat that like every day
Until they take it off and then put it back on again.
they're doing this on purpose. Leave it on message boards. Also, if you guys have that thing where you write little notes and then you put it in your local post office, just put it on there. But anyone fancy a good podcast? Well, this is about Warhammer, and then just put it in that. That'd be helpful too. Any of that.
Just don't tell them.
Huh?
Just don't tell them what it's about.
You've done it. Oh, Velatron, thanks for donating some bits. 1,000 bits for Jonathan to finish on a song. John.
Go for it.
Whoa, wow. Well, I need to get the guitar again. And what song should I can do this one.
Do you have anything by the Black Eyed Peas, also Mix a Lot?
Wait.
Or Ed Sheeran?
or Daft Punk, electronic.
This is the Black Eyed Peas. I got a feeling. Nailed it.
Nailed it!